We got something called the Godzilla roll from the one spot. I don't know if that's a thing or if that was just specific to that place or whatever, but that was really good. The Godzilla roll.
Godzilla roll? Yeah, I've heard of Godzilla roll.
Because I didn't know what I was getting. I was just ordering shit according to the names. So I was like, I wanted the Dragon roll, the Godzilla roll, give me the Iron Man. I definitely want
my favorite is the monkey roll.
Monkey roll. What's in that?
Yeah, it is a tempura fried shrimp sushi roll, but then on top of it is slices of avocado drizzled with sweet and spicy sauce, and it's really good.
Did you just? I thought you said it was jizzled with.
Jizzled.
They jizzle it with. Like, there's no good answer after that.
Fish shizzle.
They were jizzling it with fish shizzle.
Ski.
Yeah, I'll try that. Give me one of them.
My favorite is a yellowtail. Mine usually isn't jizzled though.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I don't want mine jizzled either.
Yeah. Hold the jizzle.
Down. Ow!
Welcome. You have now tuned in to the Blackout and Shout podcast with your host, Mike Kincaid.
Can I tell you that Baby Yoda just annoys the shit out of me?
That's because you haven't watched The Mandalorian.
Oh, look at Baby Yoda, so cute.
Levy Curry.
Some people do all sorts of crazy stuff, like dinosaur romance novels. Those are really a thing. Taken by the T-Rex. A billionaire dinosaur forced me, ravaged by the raptors.
I wonder if there's audiobooks of them. And Jed Vargo. He was always like well known for wearing the Nazi outfit on.
Captain Kangaroo?
Captain Kangaroo.
Didn't he have the...
No. And he did not dress up as a Nazi either.
So sit back. Mike, are you... Listen to me. Relax. Say transform and roll out.
And enjoy the show.
So we ready to get started?
Yeah. Hey, you're hosting, Levy.
Oh, no.
You're definitely up.
No. Why?
Because you've done it before, and it's been a while. Me and Jed have been going back and forth a couple times.
All right, fine.
Yeah. Where are we at? 117? 116?
115.
115.
115. All right.
Let's get things started.
So how do I do this, guys?
Don't
Here,
bullshit
help me out. How do I do this?
Just channel Kermit.
It ain't easy being sort of black.
Wow. Edit that out.
That's staying in.
I didn't say it.
No, I wonder. I was like, no, because I say it on your page every once in a while, and it's like, nobody knows what the fuck it is, and it's So I gotta wonder what other people are thinking.
So, all right. Let me take a couple deep breaths here.
I love his radio voice. Here it comes.
What episode are we on? 115?
Yeah, 115.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Lion face, rawr. Lemon face. Ooh, lion face, rawr.
All right. Welcome to the Blackout and Shout podcast. I am your host tonight, Levy Curry. We're on what, episode 115?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So welcome again. On my virtual left, we have Mr. Jed Vargo.
What's going on, Jed?
Oh, same old stuff. I'll get into it when we do our shout outs and hauls and stuff.
Mm-hmm. All right. And on my right, Mr. Mike Kincaid.
What up? How are you?
How are you doing tonight, Mike?
I'm doing the best I have in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah. You weren't with us last time.
Well, nobody was with us last time.
It's been a month.
It's been
Was it?
yeah.
Just before we continue on, I wanted just to say,
right,
Levy,
yeah.
when you were doing your opening, it reminded me of that Muppet Show episode with Steve Martin where they were auditioning for like replacements and stuff. And like I think it was Lenny the Lizard came on. He was like, hiya, 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 everybody. I'm Lenny the Lizard.
Levy the Lizard.
Levy the Lizard.
That's funny. Is that tonight? Is that the name of tonight's episode?
It might be.
Levy the Lizard.
Yeah.
That's right. I forgot. We didn't actually do an episode last time.
No.
It's crazy
So-
because we're like bi-weekly, so it's like if we miss a show, it's a whole month, and that seems like a long time.
Yeah. So, all right. So, Hall shoutouts, plugs, Jed. What do you got for us?
Well, let's see. So just so everybody knows, like, 2 weeks ago, my dad passed away, and that's the reason. One of the reasons why we didn't have the show. The other reason is Mike had the vid,
Had the Rona.
the Rona.
The Rona.
So yeah, bad timing all the way around. But shout out to all my friends and everybody that came to the viewing. Levy, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And Mike, I know you probably would be there if you wouldn't have.
I was talking to Levy about it, but
knocking on death's door. So, but
Kyle
yeah,
said he wanted to be there, but he ended up having issues with work.
Yeah,
So
that's okay. I didn't really want to be there, so that's But anyway, but that's cool. Thanks everybody. All my friends that are listening that came out. But it was really funny, Mike. There was two things that were pretty funny that you missed out on. Tim and Gary and myself and Sean were there, and all we needed was Pat, and we'd have like a band reunion right then and there. So I say we should just get a drum machine or a metrodome.
yeah, I was going to say, where was Pat? It was.
It would have been probably would have went off a lot better. But one of the funniest stories that not many funny stories that come from viewings, but anyway, but Sean told me a really funny story, right? So he's sitting there, right? I was talking to him, and he went and he sat down next to Levy, and he was talking to Levy about like, yeah, he's like, you can't believe this or that, and Jed's hair's getting longer and stuff like that. And Levy turns to him and goes, I'm sorry, who are you?
Wait,
I asked him. I asked him what his name was. I couldn't remember his name.
And he goes, Sean. He was like, I came over to Mike's house. We did a podcast episode together. The guy with the video game stuff. And Levy's like, nah, don't know.
Are you serious? You didn't remember him?
No, I didn't actually.
Wow, that's wild because you remember everything. Man, Sean, that's a bummer. It's like Sean's a real forgettable dude, I guess.
No, it wouldn't be like that.
That's what you're trying to say, Levy.
No, I'm just terrible with freaking remembering people. I am terrible with remembering people.
Everybody was wearing masks too. I mean, so
Yeah.
But that was really funny. He's like, I must have thought too highly of myself that he would actually remember who I was.
He didn't say that. Come on.
He did. I said
that.
I said Levy was probably just messing with you. He probably remembered who you were, but I guess you didn't.
No, he did not say that, Jay. Come on. Was he really insulted?
No, he just thought that you would remember him. That's all. Because you sat next to him for 3 hours.
Oh God! How long ago was that?
Last year.
Last year? It couldn't have been last. It couldn't have been last year.
This happens when you get old. Like,
yeah, it
couldn't have been last year. It had to have been in 2019.
Oh, it might have been.
Right,
you know what?
Because of COVID.
Yeah.
Was it? Oh no! You know what I was thinking? I was thinking at that time we went to Merchant Square with him because that was like right before all that shit happened, wasn't it? That was like our last.
That was in March. Yeah, that was around my birthday, I think, in March.
Yeah.
I never forget. We were sitting at the bar in the restaurant, in that little diner. And we were going Snooky, Snooky. I do that now when I like if True Blood's on and she comes on, I do it Snooky.
Snooky.
Yeah, but we were doing Snooky.
Snooky.
Like I remember Chris. I remember your buddy Chris, Mike.
Yeah.
Chris McKnight.
Yeah.
I remember when he was on, Shit,
Chris,
I
who's that? I don't remember Chris.
Come on.
You're
giving me shit?
I can't tell if he's kidding or not.
Of course I remember.
No.
I remember
I'm just really terrible at remembering names of people. What's that?
Remember ass juice, spider meat?
Yeah, I remember ass juice.
How do you forget ass juice?
I actually remember when he gave me shit about calling Leonardo DiCaprio by his first name.
Yeah, Leo. Yeah, right. Yo, with Levy, the move right now, Levy, is you go find him on Facebook now and send him a friend request.
Oh man. But you're right. I mean, we did have the masks on and stuff, and and I just, like I said, I'm just notoriously bad with remembering names and people. Like if I just met him that one time, I'm not surprised I forgot. To be honest. And I hope he wasn't insulted. I hope he wasn't insulted. I feel really bad.
I think, like you say, like he thought he left more of an impression on you than he, probably because I talk about you guys all the time, and then I talk to him and everything, and I actually talk about him to you guys every now and then about things, and then
I've heard of him. I mean, I remember your stories and stuff.
It's like Levy was standing there across from Tim and Gary, and I was like, how did you guys never cross paths? Because Levy hung out with you, Mike, all the time, and you hung out with Jerry, and Tim and Gary always hung out with Jerry. It was like you guys never like really crossed the two friend groups.
I may have met them at some point. I just don't remember.
The thing is though, Jed, is I like me and Levy were always friends, always, but there was like a window where we just kind of like fell out of touch a little bit. I mean, we always like talked and shit every once in a while, like, but there was like a couple years in the middle there where like,
but when I met you, when I was like dating Annie, like you were living with Levy.
Wait, you dated Annie?
Yeah. For a long time. But it was not that long, probably about a year or so.
Jed's OG Mulder.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. Was he dating her when she would hang out with us?
Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
That's how I met Mike. Yeah. And
I had to have met you at that point.
I actually sold
he was friends with Tiffany.
I sold Mulder my stack.
Well, but Levy, connections. Remember the reason that Annie was around, like we were around all the time, was because she was friends with Tiff.
Yeah,
you remember that part? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, because
I remember Tiffany.
When you said no, I mean the connection between them two, because it sounded, when you said the thing about Annie, like us, it sounded like you were trying to remember. Like we were just randomly hanging out with her. Like nobody was dating her. We were just friends with this random girl.
Yeah. No, I remember that, but because I just feel like I would have met Jed at some point. I've just forgotten.
Mm-hmm. You may have, because you know what, Jed? It's funny, man. I can't remember if you put the picture up or if Gary put the picture up. It was like maybe 8 or 9 of you guys, and you and 2 other cats were like kneeling in the front, like it looked like a softball team picture. And you had real short hair, and you had like a goatee. And I don't know that we've seen you with fucking facial hair in the last, like, since we started doing a podcast. So Levy, you might have fucking met him and just not even connected that Jed was this Jed.
Yeah.
I look like I was rocking the Steve Sanders look. I had the vests and I goatee and like shorter, like curly hair. Yeah. That was
I was trying to figure out who you look like, man. I was trying to figure it out. I mean, he looks like somebody, but I couldn't put my finger on it.
Steve Sanders, yeah. 99 it was, Levy, back then.
Man. You know what's really funny too is, like, if I don't see you every day and I'm like not close to you, like coworkers, right? Mm-hmm. Somebody leaves, quits, or gets fired or whatever, and then they somehow I run into them years later, or they get rehired or whatever, and they come back. I won't remember them at all, and I could have worked with them every fucking day, talk to them on a regular basis, and I won't remember. I won't remember them, and they'll come up to me and say hi, and I'm like, "Hey, how's it going, man?"
Man,
hey, and like you, like they'll mention And I think they'll get this idea that like I don't recognize them. They're like, hey, yeah, we worked at Miller together. And I'm like,
Yeah, yeah.
And I'll make like I know them, but I'm like, I have no idea who this person is.
I have a problem with seeing people like outside their natural habitat and not recognizing them. Like if I play softball with somebody and I see him at the softball field from time to time, not like a dude that I talk to all the time, but like one that just I kind of see at the field and he plays for another team. And then I see that same guy like in another environment, like at a bar or whatever. I'll have a hard time recognizing him because I'm not seeing him in the same place where I usually see him.
The background's different.
The background's different. Yeah. Yeah. It's like, it's so funny, but like I would be a terrible CSI because like sometimes like we'll see like a guy, like an actor in a movie and I'm staring and I'm like, who the fuck is that, man? And it's just like another actor that I definitely knew, but he just got like a mustache. And I don't fucking recognize him. I can't place him because he's got a fucking mustache. And like, dude, I'm just telling you, if you ever put any kind of like, you know, if you ever put any kind of like investigative team together, like pick me last. I should be picked last. Well, maybe Levy. I don't know. Nah, Levy picked Levy before me. I feel like Levy's brain's a little bit more of a steel trap than mine is. I saw a show one time where they did that. They like a guy would be talking to it. He would go up and he would ask a guy for directions. And then like two people, it was all set up. Two guys carrying like a painting or something that would obstruct their view walked in between the two guys that was talking. And then when they got in between, the guy that he was originally talking to would keep walking with the painting and another guy would be standing there. So say there would be like, you'd be talking to like Levy, Jed, and then like the painting would go by. And then after the painting would go by, I'd be standing there and you would be surprised at how many fucking people just kept talking to the guy and didn't even realize they were talking to a fucking different guy.
Yeah.
It was wild. It was like a wild experiment. I can't remember what the name of the show was, but it was really fucking interesting.
There was a TED talk and I forget the name of the guy, but he was an illusionist.
Ted?
Like what's that?
Is his name Ted?
No, it was TEDx. TEDx.
I know.
Talk. Anyway, he was talking about same thing, like about mind, manipulation. If you tap someone's shoulder, they will know you're taking their wallet and their watch and all that stuff. And he was doing this, right? But he started the show, dressed one way, and then he, at the very end of the show, he said, he goes, and at what point did you guys notice that I changed? And he had jeans and a flannel on, and he started the show with a suit. And you're like, when the fuck did that happen?
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Yeah. It's like, it's all about, what's it called? It's all about misdirection. Yeah. That's what it is. Misdirection.
People are failing their perception checks.
That was funny, but probably lost on Mike.
I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah.
It's D&D humor, Mike.
Okay.
Not the kind of humor for someone who's getting all the pussy.
Yo, COVID week was a hell of a week, by the way. But we'll talk about that later. Or we won't.
Who was that? That was Venger, the force of evil.
See, that I would have got.
Anyway.
I was at least in on the cartoon.
Levy, your guide. Anyway. So shout out to everybody that was there and all the support, everybody that messaged me and stuff like that. I appreciate it. Let's see, what did I get? I got Hot Toys, my very first Hot Toys. Spider-Man Mark IV armor. And it's cool, but I don't think it's worth, what you pay for it. It was cool. It's like when you're moving the stuff, like the figure around, like the suit is like stretchy, but you're like, man, I don't want to rip this thing. It's
right. Yeah.
You feel like this will be, that'll be like everything down the drain as soon as I hear a rip or a tear. And I'm looking at the threading, seeing like, how tight, how solid it is or whatever.
1/6 scale figures, typically you pose them and then you leave them.
Yeah.
And usually the pose you put them in is a simple A stance.
Yeah. And it's Spider-Man and I don't want to do that. So,
yeah.
But it would look really cool. I mean, it's the whole lighting thing is a really cool trick, you know, with the things that glow and shit. But the things I didn't like about it is that you pay that price and you have the figure, which is nice, and you have the stand, and the stand blows because there's just like a thing on the just to kind of prop him up so you can like lean against it, and that's it. There's like really nothing for him to like do a dynamic pose on or anything. So that was a bummer. And that platform, that the pieces that have the lights in them and the parts that plug into, it's made of fucking cardboard. Like you couldn't fucking throw the extra $10 down and make it out of plastic. So it was like a fucking Happy Meal. I'm like, this is a Hot Toys thing. It should not be a fucking Happy Meal that I'm putting together, you know? Yeah. It was just that was really disappointing. But everything else is pretty neat about it, you know, the accessories and everything else that came with. But after I get the other one and the Green Goblin, I'm done. I'm not gonna. I actually like Players Kai stuff more. It's than the Hot Toy stuff. So it's like half the price. I got that Queen of the Dark Spider. That's that third war story. Gwendom, I guess you want to call it, right? That's awesome. That was, you know, and that's cheaper than the standard Hot Toy stuff. But that was I actually enjoy that a lot than Spider-Man. And the deluxe version that comes with 6 extra arms and stuff that like kind of like the magnet on her back and stuff. That's really cool. If you didn't have that, it would be like you'd be missing out on like half of the figure because it comes with all the like the Venom type of like hand blades, and it's pretty neat. And the other head sculpt with like the half face thing it looks really cool too. It was actually really. It was surprised at the quality of it for like a third party thing. But yeah. I got Kenshiro. Did we talk about that? I don't think we did, right?
Because you guys did not talk about that. Yeah, we didn't talk about that.
You guys got Kenshiro too.
Yes.
But and I got real quick before we talk about that. But shout out everybody that bought my art. If you're listening or not. Fuck you, John Bailey. And there is a new thing I've been doing up on our YouTube page. It's called Blaster's Billboard. And basically I've been taking like retrowave songs and making some animations for them. There's one up there now for Lost and Found from the mid, and I'm doing Time Cop 1983 Back to You song, and that'll probably be out Sunday, maybe Monday, depends on how long it takes for my graphics card to finish up rendering everything. But that's it. And but back to Kenshiro. What do you guys think of that?
Dude,
that fucking
beautiful.
It's so nice.
It is beautiful. It's beautiful, beautifully sculpted, beautifully painted. I love the accessories. Like it makes me not want to be able to wait until Rao and Jaggy. Is that the next one that they revealed after that? I think so, but they didn't put any pre-orders up for that yet. Yeah, and Rao I think is actually coming fairly soon according to the schedule. I mean, I'm sure it'll be a month or two later than it actually says, but I think it said I want to say July, April? Right? Or April, or maybe was it May or something? Yeah, it's the next couple months. Not very far off. So yes. The
only thing I didn't like about it was the like they took like parts of his inside of his arm away so that you could kind of put it down next to his body. So it was kind of sculpted, like where it was like connected.
Right.
You guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I hear you on that one. Yeah, I hear you on that one. Yeah. It doesn't. I mean, I get it. It didn't really bother me as much. Definitely a lot more positive than negative, I think.
Oh right? Yeah, absolutely. That's the only thing I found that was really negative about it.
Yeah.
What about you, Liv? What'd you think?
Kenshiro is freaking awesome. I love that figure. I noticed that the shoulders are similar to Amazing Yamaguchi.
Yes. Yeah, they are.
Where like the shoulders don't actually. Because like most figures have a ball hinge swivel for the shoulder joint, where like it connects flush with the body, with the torso. But with like Amazing Yamaguchi and this Kenshiro, it actually has like a ball hinge for the shoulder, but then like the actual shoulder itself, like it's not actually connected to the body. Do you know what I mean? Mike understands. I don't know how to describe it.
No, I get. Yeah. It's like, and it's. I mean, you'd never be looking at it from the angle where it would look bad, but it's definitely one of those ones like when you're posing it, when you're getting it into like crazy poses and shit, because of the way that is, you would have to be taking it from like, good angles and stuff. But yeah, it's a little like the, well, I only have the cable one, but it's kind of like that. Yeah, nice figure though. Definitely psyched to get more. So Jed, one other thing. Was that it for you, Jed?
Yep, that was it.
So it was your birthday, dude.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So happy birthday.
Thanks. I forgot about that. Yeah, it was a real shitty birthday, but yeah.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, we're gonna try to make it just like a hair better. So me and Levy went and we paid off the rest of your Springer for your birthday.
Oh, okay.
At TCP, cool. We hit up Brandon. Yeah, so now when it comes out,
thanks, man.
Just remember, just think about me and Levy when you're looking at that dinner plate, because that's the part of it that we paid for. We got the dinner plate and the place.
I'll sit there and eat a salad out of it as I admire the chopper mode.
Fucking arm falls off.
That's cool,
shit.
Guys. Appreciate that. Yeah, thank you.
You're kind of you're a little on the tougher side to shop for, man. And I was like, and we didn't have a plan B, because I was kind of thinking like, man, because you said you paid for the original Springer up front, and I'm like, man, what if I hit up Brandon and he said that he already paid the rest of it off, and we really don't know what the fuck to do. So luckily it didn't.
Oh, that's cool.
So you're either getting that or you weren't getting shit.
Oh, fuck. You can't go wrong with whores and cocaine, so there's always two. Fall back.
Yeah, well, yeah, that was plan C. That was plan C. Jed, your coke and whores are here. They got like a bow on them and shit.
Yeah.
Come open your stuff.
Come in. No, that's cool. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's awesome. Yep. So, host, where do we travel to next on this destination we call Blackout and Shout?
Well, Mike, what about your shoutouts, hauls, plugs?
I don't want to talk too long about it, but like, yeah, I caught the fucking coronavirus a couple of weeks ago, and it sucked. But I think I got pretty lucky. Like I didn't get it like horribly, It definitely sucked. The middle couple of days sucked, but I was never in any kind of fear that I was going to have to go to the hospital. Except a couple nights I ate brownies, and then I got real cooked on the brownies, and I thought I was having like a heart attack and shit. And I'm like, fuck, man, maybe I am going to the hospital. I don't know. But in reality, I was in. Well, you know what it was? It was a combination of the brownie and Beat Saber. Because like, listen, I was pretty fucking winded, so it's not like I was like, I was going crazy, but like I would play for a half an hour a night because I heard the same thing. Nate said something about you don't want to be like laying around 24 hours a day, so yeah, which is mostly what we were doing. But we'd get up and play like Beat Saber for like a half an hour, and we found a way to download other songs. Like just regular fucking songs and shit. Like people have made up maps and stuff, and it's fucking awesome. Because as much as I like the game, I was tired of playing the same like 5 albums all the time. But yeah, so Vanessa found like a bunch of other songs and shit. So I'd be going nuts for like a good half hour. And so between the brownie and really getting my blood going with the Beat Saber, for as tired as I was because I had COVID, really like afterwards I'd be like, fuck, man, That's what made me feel like that. I was never in any kind of danger. I was in mental danger more than physical danger. But yeah, our parents were good to us, man. Our parents were, Vanessa's mom, my mom, and my dad. And then my godmother actually stopped by too and dropped off. Like people were just dropping off food and shit for us, which was fucking great. And just a bunch of, everybody was checking in on us and stuff. So we appreciate that. But yeah, And Vanessa got hit a little harder than I did, but she's doing a little better. So that was basically.
I had a picture of your family just like sliding food through the slot in the door.
The slot, yeah, right, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, my dad trying to crush a fucking Gatorade through there. Yeah. So yeah, we didn't do a whole lot over the last couple of weeks, and I'll tell you what, Jed, I honestly, just for the fucking entertainment value of how bad it would have been, I wish I wouldn't have got COVID. COVID saved me and Levy from doing a really embarrassing show because you know, I mean, we say it from time to time, but you really do the bulk of the work, you know, for this. And me and Levy had zero plan. We're like, what are we gonna do? I don't know. Just come over or hit the record button and we'll see what happens. and then we were saved by the coronavirus. So yeah,
you're like, I have to edit again. Oh no.
No, it wasn't even the editing like that part. I wasn't worried about
through this nursing.
What's that?
So let me take a spin through the nursing home real quick and just lick all the walls. Oh.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Maybe I didn't even have it. I just, you know, I pretended to get it. I took a fucking week of unpaid vacation. Yeah, no, I wasn't really worried about all the technical end of it. I was worried that we were just going in with zero fucking itinerary. It was like, we you know what we should have did, Levy? We should have did toy news, weird news, questions, and out. It would have been like a 45-minute show. Covering absolutely nothing. Oh shit!
You guys said you were gonna do it. It was gonna be an embarrassing show. I thought, like, with no pants or.
Nah, man. I didn't. You know what? At one time in my life, that would have been embarrassing, but not anymore. Now it's like I do it on purpose. Yeah. So, yeah. COVID saved the day. Yeah.
Shadow COVID.
that might be the fucking title. COVID saved the day. Yeah. Halls. I didn't really get a chance to talk about this. I just touched on it because I just fucking got it in the mail last time. But just to confirm, the cup sucked even worse than I could have imagined. But their XTB is doing something. We'll talk about that more in toy news when we get there. I got the Ken, which was cool. I got G1 Action Masters Prowl and Axer. I think that might have been.
I don't know who the hell Axer is.
Axer, he was another one of them. Like, let's make up a new character just to throw in here, and so yeah, he was pretty much. And they put his vehicle, like, you know how they all drove vehicles and shit. Well, some of them did. They put like Soundwave in the sidecar on the box art. Like, you know, we'll put the cool kid with him. Maybe people will buy him. I think that was all I pretty much got as far as toys go. And I'm sure I'll remember something later because it's tough, you know, when you have a whole month off, you're like, shit, I don't remember if I got anything or not.
Did you? I can't remember if you got the Kang toy stuff before or after, like last month.
The Red Bull, the Lamb Bull. Yeah, I had that, but I had that before the last one. Yeah, because at that point, because I remember describing the cup as a piece of shit because I was saying about how, like,
that's right,
the Kang toys just felt so solid, and you picked that rickety shit up out of there, and you just knew you were in trouble. Yeah, that's pretty much haul wise. That's pretty much all I got. Oh no! I got the Black Rorichi or whatever. It was the Fast Track. The Japanese version of Fast Track that goes with Black Zarak, which is the Japanese Scorponok, or the repaint of Scorponok. So I'm hoping that they eventually do one, but I don't know if that's going to happen. Yeah, that's it for hauls. Plugs. I've actually finished up 2 new shirt designs. I did the Rodfather a couple of weeks ago, like a Hot Rod Godfather mashup, and just yesterday, well, it would have been Wait, what's today? Yeah, it would have been Thursday. I finished up the Kiss Cobra shirt. Jed, I finished that Kiss Cobra shirt because you busted my balls. Because I was telling you I was just fucking kind of like, you know,
nothing.
I was doing nothing, and you told me to pick my fucking pencil up, and I picked my pencil up because you fucking gave me some shit. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. So I got those two on the website, dragonstarsshop.com. The Rodfather's in the robot shop, and the Kiss Cobra one is in, I call it Hiss, by the way. The Hiss shirt is in the cartoon shop.
And I shared those around on the Blackout Shout channels too. In case,
yeah, I appreciate that. I saw that. I saw Candace's drawing, by the way, too. Man, like I think she's pretty good, but that particular one, the Star Wars one, was really fucking good, man. Like she outdid herself on that one.
Yeah, it was. And the other dude that what's his name? Reese Scott, I think it is, or Scott Reese.
Did he do that one Megatron one? Is that the one I saw?
If you look at his Instagram, like everything he does is like quality. And he's been lately. He's been doing like a lot of just like jets and like, you know, and it's just amazing. Like his perspective of that he draws, you know, and it's really good.
Yeah, it's really good.
Can't get over how much I like it.
Yeah, I think it. And it's like it's like a really contrasted. Like he's not that like the one I'm looking at, this Megatron one, where he's kind of got like the big face in the background, and it's like a view of him looking up. The last one you put up, that gets by without any kind of color because of the way that he shades. Like, you know, a lot of artists even like that are good ones and shit that have great form, like they leave it, like color has gotten so good and over the last, you know, 10, 15 years or whatever, that they just kind of like let the color kind of do a lot of the work. But he does great shots. It reminds me of like Jay Lee, if Jay Lee did it like clean, like this is very clean, and Jay Lee was a little bit more, you know, but like just that like, I don't know what that style is called, but that really contrasted heavy black and white.
Yeah, it's like a hard ops, like you said, like high contrast. Like it's fantastic.
Yeah, I love it, man.
If anybody's like curious about who we're talking about, if you go on, it's Reese_B_Scott, REECE, B as in boy Scott. It's like his stuff is amazing. It's you just let me grab like one of the jets that he did. Like
I'm looking at him. I'm looking at him right now. Yeah,
so good. It's just like
cool, man.
I really like his perspective that he does. It's like his. It's like very. You know what it reminds me of? The guy. I wish I could remember the animator that did Call the Primitives. How he had that perspective, like the real. You look up like you know, Predaking, and his like feet are real big, and like, you know, so kind of perspective goes up real small. Has that style.
And the thing is, like, I remember that episode too. Like, even the way that in that style, like even Slugfest and Overkill, who are like little tiny tapes, he made them in that particular episode. That style made them look like they were 45 feet tall. It was like a kind of like a OX type of style almost. But yeah, this dude does the same thing, man. Yeah, I like it.
Here, Levy, let me. I'll grab this one for you. You'll like this one.
Yeah, it's so good, dude.
Oh wow!
See, this is the kind of shit I see. Like, I see it, and I just want to never draw again, because I would never, like, you know what I mean? No matter how much I practice, I'm just never gonna get to that level.
Oh, that's really good.
Yeah, it's all of his art is like at this level, like
and
all of it. Reese_B Scott on Instagram.
Wow.
Yeah, it's everything. I haven't seen one piece of art that I did not like that he did. And there's like a lot of artists who are very specific about things. Like they can draw, like, you know, say robots really good, right? Or you can draw like humans really good, or environment really well. He does like everything like really, really well.
There's one. I'm looking at this one last one real quick before we move on. This is just like, to me, this is cool, man. He did a draw, you know, one of the Seekers or whatever, but he specifically did the MP3 mold, like specifically. Like that, like check the feet out, and like this whatever those things are that go on the sides, and the things up top, like on the shoulders, those pieces, like that was all very specific to the MP3 mold.
Even his like color that he does is like, it's really really good.
Yeah, dig it. Yeah, go check that guy out if you're into art. And but yeah, that was that's all. So I didn't physically do much, but it was busy otherwise. So Levy, what about you, man?
Pretty uneventful as far as toys go. I got the Kenshiro. I don't think I really got anything else in the past month. I've been pretty frugal with buying figures. So I do have stuff that have come in at various places, but I haven't shipped them yet. So I usually like to build up my stash and then just ship it all at once. That way I get a nice big box.
Yeah, I do that sometimes. Unless I'm really, really amped for something that like just came out. Like sometimes I'll do the same.
Yeah, like TCP. I have my Motormaster trailer. I got X-Transbot Scourge.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
Wow, that kind of surprises me, man.
Yeah, it surprised me too. I also pre-ordered the X-Transbots Cyclonus, I think, because I think they're doing a reissue of that, right?
They're doing a metallic painted version with a new head sculpt. Dude, that thing is money. Yeah.
I got the Fans Toys Galvatron. I would like to have Scourge and Cyclonus with him,
Yeah.
So he'd look pretty lonely on the shelf by himself. So if I have those two, then I think I justify shelf space for him. So
did they do the IDW version too, or was that just fans?
What's up?
I said, did X-Transbots do like the IDW stuff for him too, or was that just fans?
That was just Fans Toys.
So. Just Fans Toys. Okay.
Yeah, and that was a nice touch, by the way.
I heard that Fans Toys put or I guess TCP put up some pre-orders for Fans Toys Cyclones today.
Yeah, but I don't. It's not a reissue. I don't think. I think it's they got them elsewhere because you know what? I saw that and I'm like, dude, I'm gonna go fucking get some. So, I had two in my shopping cart and it was weird. The price didn't show when, like, on the page itself. You had to actually put it in the cart. So I put it in the cart and they were $280 each. And I was like,
that's
holy
insane.
Fuck. Yeah,
I think John, or in the chat somebody said that it was like $280.
But what happened? The same thing. I can't remember what they got last time, but they basically probably got shit at retail and had to make something off them.
Sure,
or maybe even So that's probably why they were so fucking expensive. So, and it didn't say reissue. It just said that they
just got some stock.
Got some, yeah. And I was like, man, I don't need one that bad.
Yeah,
but that's one of the best figures.
I wonder if that was part of that collection they bought off of somebody.
I don't, man. It seemed like that you need a lot of Cyclonuses to be like, let's put this up for pre-order. Well, and it probably wouldn't be a pre-order either. They probably have them all already. Yeah, I doubt it. The more I think about it, I doubt it. Levy.
Yeah, that's it. I don't think I have any shout outs or plugs or anything. I'll shout out to Jed for getting us those Kenshiro figures.
Yeah, that was cool, man. You didn't have to do that, man. It like we would have gladly waited.
Yeah, I know you guys wanted those. I mean, after I saw them, I'm like, you guys gotta, because of how nice they look.
Yeah, I was pretty excited when I took that thing out of the box, man. Yeah, it led me to like watch. I had to actually watch Fist in the. I watched the movie, Fist in the North Star movie, and then I have like this whole. I have the old series, like episodes maybe 1 through 30 something. Yo, there's like 150 some episodes. Did you know that altogether?
I saw there's like
the old one,
like what 5 seasons or something.
I don't know how many seasons it's broken down into, but I know like the first like 36 or 37 go in Japanese and English, and then from like 37 up to 150 is all original language with subtitles. But I have like the first couple. Yeah, I have like the English version, like the first 30 episodes, and I have this new series. It was like a follow-up type of thing, and that was done like the animation. There was a little bit of 3D animation and shit like that, beautifully animated. I don't know if you ever saw that, but I have like 3 or 4 DVDs of that shit. So we watched the movie and the new ones, and we watched like maybe 14 or 15 episodes of the old one like during COVID week.
How does that all like fit? Because I never watched the seasons or the episodes. I just watched the movie. Is that like the movies first?
Like a what's that word called? Like, you know, they kind of
canon.
You know, no. Like man, it's on the tip of my tongue. Like when you take 30 episodes and you just make a movie out of it. Kind of like Akira was this whole collection of books, but it was more of I'll come up with the word halfway into the episode, but you know, it's basically like an abbreviated version of like the entire story. That still kind of makes sense.
So the movie was the same animation as the series?
No. That was the interesting thing. When they did the movie, they did parts of the storyline like exactly scene for scene and almost shot for shot, like angle for angle, what the original shit was, but it was a completely newly animated thing for the movie. Like people were dressed different and shit. I mean, Ken was still basically kind of dressed the Ken that we got, this action figure is actually based more on the original episodes than the movie, the way he was dressed in the movie. He was just a little bit more like I mean, they're similar, but like Shin's whole thing, like Shin was dressed kind of like if Prince was living during the fucking post-apocalyptic times in the movie. You know, yeah, like the pinks and purples and the frillies and all that shit. Like he wasn't dressed like that in
holes in his ass cheek.
Could you imagine? You're like, dude, Kenshiro, you just got your girl taken from you by a dude. Post-apocalyptic times, and he's wearing assless pants, and that guy took your girl from you.
Well, just imagine that scene, right? And he freaking, you know, sticks his fingers into his chest, you know, and gives him the stars and shit like that, and he leaves him for dead. And the whole time we've seen him in the scene just from the front, right? And then after he like leaves him for dead, he turns and walks away, and he's got like assless pants.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
As he walks away, and it just like the camera just keeps on him as he walks away.
Levy, either you do it that way, which would be funny as fuck, or you shoot it in a way that the ass is in every shot. Like even when he is digging his fingers into his chest, like it's shot from like behind Shin's ass. Like you're seeing,
yeah, like from like a low shot, like looking up.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but his ass is blurred because it's
a Dutch angle.
Yeah, his ass, the ass is blurred because it's like it's closer, and you're focusing more on the chest, so the ass is like.
Or it's like how Michael Bay likes to do all those low angle shots.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
See, we should be directing. We should be directing anime. See,
he would be the ass of the South Star.
Ass of the South Star.
The fist of the North Star and the ass of the South Star are never supposed to fight, and you know that. Yo, there's your title right there, the ass of the South Star. Oh fuck, man, the brownie's starting to kick in a little bit.
Stupid. I actually contemplated asking if I could stop buying, maybe, you know, get a piece off you tonight.
What, the brownie? I'll give you a little piece.
What's that?
Of course. Yeah, well,
I didn't want to be all goofy tonight, though.
Oh, for the Tonight Show. Yeah. Oh, you should have. Yeah, Fist of the North Star, man. I had to make that noise once or twice when I was banging Vanessa just to be funny. Like when he's doing the 1,000 fists. Yeah, he did.
You're already dead.
Yeah. Yeah, she didn't find it as amusing as I did, but you know. All right, host. Now's a good time to move on.
Hiya.
All right. Nerd news?
Yeah.
Shed?
Sure.
All right.
Our nerd news. Let's see. Yaphet Kotto died. He was 81. He was well known for his role in Alien and in the James Bond movie Live and Let Die.
Yes. What was the character that he played in Live and Let Die?
He was like some
Baron Samedi? No.
He was like some voodoo dude, right?
Yeah.
Didn't really say what he passed away from. Well, he was 81, so I mean, could have been anything. Marvelous Marvin Hagler died. He was 66.
Kananga. That was his name.
Marvelous Marvin Hagler was in the American Hall of Fame. And he was the undisputed middleweight champion from 1980 and 1987.
Yeah. During pretty much the greatest 15 to 20 years of boxing ever.
Right.
I don't think it's ever going to be the same ever again. That was a good era. 80s and 90s.
Yeah. I mean, besides Ali, and then after that you had Tyson, and then you had Sugar Ray, you had Marvelous Man, you had who's the Latino dude who Camacho? He was there. He was one of the best ones.
Macho Camacho.
Yeah, Macho Camacho. Yeah, but yeah, there was a bunch of really good boxing legends from that time.
Imagine you got to fight a dude. His name is Macho Camacho. I'm backing out of that one. What's his name? Macho Camacho. You know what? I'm gonna have the COVID that night.
In this corner, weighing 100, is Mike Kincaid. In the
Wait, you broke up. How many pounds you give me?
In this corner, weighing 194, Mike Kincaid.
Oh, right on.
Yeah. In the other corner, One Punch Man.
See, now
Mike Kincaid thrown in the towel.
If they didn't tell me his name was One Punch Man, I would go into the ring with One Punch Man thinking I was gonna fucking kill his ass. and then I get fucking knocked out in 6 seconds and be like, dude, somebody should have fucking told me what his name was, man.
There was this great video. I can't remember what kind of style of fighting was, but it wasn't mixed martial arts. It was I think it was kickboxing. And there was this really big guy, and he was just had the meanest look on his face, like he was going to murder your family, right? And they announced him in the corner. And then there was this other guy who was just, meh. He was just standing there looking around meh. He was when the bus was coming or whatever, right? And you're like, oh my God, you're like, this guy is going to get wasted. And the angry looking freaking, thing that was the size of a wall, he lost because the dude was a sleeper or whatever, because the guy came running at him and he clocked him a few times, and he just it was one of those guys you wouldn't expect to be a really good fighter, and he just beat the shit out of the big guy. And I was like, wow, no shit.
Sometimes it's technique, man. Sometimes it's technique.
Yeah,
I would never be a good fighter, because in order for me to want to fight, you really have to piss me the fuck off. I couldn't go into a fight just fight based on technique. Couldn't do it. You'd have to walk up to me and punch me on the fucking street, or punch somebody I know, or do something that really makes me fucking Incredible Hulk angry, and then I feel like it'd be all right. But just being technical, I feel like I don't know. I don't know how those guys do it.
Leaping Lenny Poffo, you're not.
Leaping Lenny. Leaping Lenny. Was that is he the biggest jobber of all time?
He wasn't he? Didn't he turn into the Poet then, or something like that? And he was Macho Man's brother or something. I can't remember anything really else about him besides that.
Leaping Lenny Poffo. Wow, that's a blast from the past, man.
And he would do somersaults and shit.
Yeah. Look at him. Leaping Lenny. See, now you tell me Leaping Lenny wants to fight. I'm knocking Leaping Lenny to fuck it. Like, that's a no-brainer. Man.
All right. So, and the last person that was quite interesting that died was Ronald DeFeo Jr. Do you know who that is, Levy?
Ronald DeFeo?
Yeah, Ronald DeFeo.
The name sounds familiar.
69 years old. He was the American mass murderer that was the basis for the Amityville Horror.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, he died.
He murdered his entire family.
Yeah.
In the Amityville house.
Yeah. Yep.
That shit's crazy.
That's all the people that I had listed.
Well, there was the mom from Arrested Development.
Yeah, you sent me that. I never really watched that show, so I didn't really know who that was.
You should watch that show. It's freaking great.
Is it the one with Jason Bateman?
Jason Bateman, yeah. And Michael Cera.
Oh, okay.
Fucking,
yeah.
Yeah, it's a good show. It's a great show. You should watch it.
You ever watch it, Mike?
What show is that?
Arrested Development.
Arrested Development.
I remember watching it back in the day, like not religiously, like, you know, like I know what the fuck was going on, but I've seen a number of episodes.
Well, she also did the voice for the woman that was in charge in Archer.
Yeah.
The boss or whatever. I forget what the character's name was. Was it Archer's mom? I thought it was that's another show I don't watch. So episodes. Don't know.
Jessica Walter is the name of the actress.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just move on to trailers.
Yep.
Which trailer would you guys like to talk about first?
What were the trailers? I forget.
Oh God, Lev, you didn't watch them, did you?
I did watch them. Thank you very much.
Yeah, the Alien video game. The Alien video game was the first one, Levy.
What's that?
The Alien video game was the first one.
I watched that when that came out.
Let's talk about that.
Alien Fire Team. Nope.
No.
Not at all.
Why?
3 words: aliens, colonial marines.
Yeah, but that was an older game that was shit. So I mean, this is different.
It was a game that was hyped up. I was really excited for it, and it turned out to be shit. So I'll wait for the game to come out for what people have to say about it before I even consider buying it. I'm not. Yeah.
I did read the first issue of Alien, I think it is, came out from Marvel Comics this past week. And that's basically like the part of the story that kind of goes hand in hand with the video game. Like the one character from that video game survives, and it's like takes place after that. But it seems pretty cool. I hope the
game's good. I mean, that kind of game has been done before. Like I said, with aliens, colonial marines.
Yeah, it's basically like his flashbacks they're going to like kind of clear out a place, and you know there's aliens infested and stuff in a hive. But he he's been using like a bishop model as a therapist, and like his son is like a radical like eco terrorist type of thing. Like they do their terrorism for good causes, like they blow up shit for like things. Well, anyway, that's how the first issue ended. But he was having flashbacks. The cool thing was like there was this really weird looking like female like alien that was like more human than not that was in his flashbacks. So that's kind of something that's making the story at least a little bit more interesting and different. Kind of had like a Species look. You guys remember that movie Species? Yep. Like that when she was fully turned at the end.
Well, that kind of makes sense because the Species alien was also designed by H.R. Geiger.
Right.
So,
yep.
Yes. Did you ever play the game Left 4 Dead, Jed?
No, I don't think so.
It was a 4-player co-op zombie horde game by Valve.
Saw that. Yeah, I saw that, but I never played it.
Basically, you just run from checkpoint to checkpoint, killing waves of zombies or special infected, and then there's different like specialized infected types that you have to use teamwork to get around, because like if one of them launches their special attack against you, you can't do anything about it. One of your partners has to help you out. So from what I understand of this game, it's kind of like that, where it's just basically going to be like a big horde mode where it's like co-op players versus like huge amounts of AI controlled enemies.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's not very story driven.
Well, the gameplay itself isn't, but I mean, like there, like with Left 4 Dead, there actually was a story behind each different scenario that that you played, because like there was different scenarios that you went through, and like each scenario had like 4 stages, and it actually charted their path across the country as they were trying to get from one place to another. So there was a bit of a story to it. I mean, Left 4 Dead is a really, really great game. It's a lot of fun as far as, you know, zombie shooters goes. It was one of the first ones that popularized the zombie horde mode gameplay loop thing. So, but yeah, I recommend getting it. You can pick it up during a Steam sale for like $2.
Oh, okay.
Left 4 Dead 2. You get that one.
We were just talking about this earlier in the chat, but there was a Figma figure that came out. It was from the video game Bloodborne.
Yep.
And the figure looks amazing.
Yeah, it does look good. I like all the accessories that come with it. Like it was like
you said the game's really good too.
Oh, the game's fantastic. It's one of the best games on PlayStation 4. But it's really hard. Did you ever hear? You've heard of Dark Souls and Demon Souls?
Yeah, and when I mentioned that, when I mentioned to Tyler, he said that Dark Souls was a crappy game that had really shitty controls, but everyone played it off as being really hard, and the whole game is a meat. He said the whole game is a meat. The controls are fantastic in this game. Don't listen to him. Don't listen to him. Those games are freaking-tastic. It's just that they're really hard, and you have to really work at it. The great thing about those games is like there's no such thing as a cheap death. If you died, you did something wrong. Mm-hmm. If every enemy has a way to beat it, you just have to find out what that way is. And you can't just go in there mashing buttons. You have to be strategic in how you attack your enemies, because every move has wind up and recovery. So, and you can't cancel those animations. So if you wind up with a really big attack and you're just like mashing buttons, your enemy can just like come in, do a quick stab and deal damage to you or kill you. But the enemies are the same way. So you got to watch your enemies' attacks and look for windows of opportunity to attack them when they're like, recovering from a big swing, or like, if you can, have an opportunity to dodge out of the way and then counterattack them. It's all very strategic. You want to, be very methodical in how you play the game, and every button press should have a purpose. So awesome. I like that idea. I also like the idea that it's based on like H.P. Lovecraft, Bram Stoker, and Romanian type of, era stuff.
The setting
really
is
cool.
Probably my second favorite of the From Software Soulsborne games. Like Demon Souls and Dark Souls were like dark fantasy settings. So you had like knights and warriors and wizards and sorcerers and shit. And like, skeleton monsters and it's just basically like fantasy type monsters. Bloodborne, it was a Victorian Gothic horror setting. But then they also did a game called Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. And that is a dark feudal Japan era type game. It's almost like a Japanese horror, like a Japanese horror type setting.
Cool.
So yeah.
But the thing is, that sounds great.
They all play very differently. It's the same general kind of concept where, like I said, you have to approach the battles very strategic, and you have to be you can't like button mash and stuff like that. But they all play very different. Like
was Dark Souls the game where if you died, they would show like a ghost of you or something like that dying, like fighting something and dying?
Yeah, well, you can. Yeah, like you can see the way other players have died.
That's it.
If you have the online mode turned on, because and you can also have other players invade your game. If you have the online mode on. If you don't have the online mode on, then you don't see any of that shit, I think. But and Bloodborne is the same way, I think. And then like you can also leave messages for other players. Like they'll appear as like scratches on the ground that you can go to and press a button to read the message and everything. So
fuck off, bitch.
The only problem with Bloodborne is that it's PlayStation exclusive, so it's not on PC.
Right.
But you have a PS4, so
Yeah, and there's actually not that expensive. It's like $20 or $30, I think, for it.
And I also definitely recommend Sekiro. That is a really, really fun game too. The problem is with these games, I'm not very good at them, so I don't ever get very far, but I love them. I love the combat. I'm just not good at it. So
gotcha.
I never played Dark Souls or Demon Souls, but I have Bloodborne and I love it, but I've never gotten past the Cleric Beast, which is like the first boss of the game. And Sekiro, I got a bit farther in Sekiro, but it's still I'm just no good at those games. So
that's cool. I gotta check them out then. This sounds really good. Try it out. Mike,
yes.
What trailer are you going to talk about next?
What was the one where they were going into the woods and weird shit was happening and it was like a fun. Yeah.
Doesn't that look good?
That one looks fun, man.
Yeah.
That one looks fun. It looked like
I think it's
the forest is fucking with them. Like there was shit coming out of the ground. Like you ever hear of like it's like the Oracle at Delphi. Like historically speaking, they say that it might have just been a couple of broads hanging out of there, and there was like the shit coming out of the earth. Like there was like a underground. I can't remember what kind of fucking gas was shooting out of the fucking earth, but it was coming out and it was making them high. And they thought they were like seeing the future. Being serious, they thought they were like seeing the future, and people used to go to them and because they thought they could tell like, you know, your fortunes and shit like that. And here they were just three high bitches hanging out and getting fucking high off shit coming out of the ground. Go ahead. It's crazy.
I was gonna say, I think it's like from what I got from the trailer, that's gonna be like maybe like spores or something that are in the air that are making them hallucinate. Maybe. Yeah. Yep.
Did you notice? Did you recognize the guy playing the main character? One of the main characters, the man.
No.
He played one of the slave masters in Marine in Game of Thrones. He ended up marrying Daenerys, but then he ended up dying in the arena when all the dudes rose up and attacked them all. I can't remember the name of the character he played, but yeah.
This guy couldn't remember Sean.
No.
hung out with him in front of his face for 4 hours.
He was wearing a mask.
Who was that masked man? It's like Superman when he puts his glasses on. Who is that? Where'd Superman go?
Yeah, right. Yeah, Adam and fucking Prince Adam and He-Man and shit. He's got like a tan and blonde hair now.
Same bowl cut. How about the new Suicide Squad trailer?
I want to see that movie solely for King Shark.
Yes.
Yeah, he was the only interesting thing in that fucking trailer, man.
It was when he was like nums.
He just ate the dude. And he ripped that other guy in half.
Oh, yeah.
Down
that was
middle.
great. Yeah, that was great. I like when he was sitting there and he's like, hand.
Yes, that's your hand.
We're gonna fucking die.
He just picked that guy up and just chomped, and he just chowed down on him. That was funny.
But outside of that, I don't know. I'm just not a DC guy to begin with. So like when I go in and when I watch a Marvel trailer, I'm going in with the attitude like this is going to be awesome until I don't like it. And with DC, I'm the exact opposite. Outside of Batman, I love Batman, love the shit out of Batman, but like I just couldn't really give a rat's ass about DC. I don't know why. They just don't. I
think because I don't really know who these characters are that I actually want to watch it more.
Yeah, I can see that.
Do you think it's because of your competitive nature, Mike?
My competitive nature? Oh, like I either have to pick a side.
Like you're a big sports fan. You're a big sports fan, right?
Yeah.
So you love the Eagles. Right?
Yeah, but that would be like me loving the X-Men and hating everything but the X-Men. There's just one team.
No, not necessarily.
Okay.
But you do love Marvel.
Yeah.
But then, like their rival DC, you're just kind of like, you know.
I love Batman though. I really do like Batman.
Yeah.
Although you know what, Batman's like Tio, because it's like, or not Tio. That's a bad example because he hated him on another team. Like somebody on another team that you really like, Larry Fitzgerald. Like Batman's Larry Fitzgerald. Basically, it's like, man, that fucking dude's not an eagle, but I fucking wish he was an eagle. Not now because he's old shit, you know. But you know what I'm getting at. He's that guy. I don't know. I guess there's a couple characters from DC that I kind of dig, but I don't know. I tried, man. My uncle that got me into comics, he gave me Marvel and DC together. I fucking checked out all that shit at the same time. So I got introduced to both sides at the same time, and I just fell along the Marvel side of the fence way more. So it's like, I see
wrong with that.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I don't hate it. I watched a bunch of DC movies, but like I was not invested like I am in the Marvel movies. Like the DC movies, I could just kind of watch and not give a fuck.
Well, to be honest, the DC movies didn't really give you much reason to be invested in them.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, if you go back to Nolan's Batman, you know, those were awesome.
Yeah.
But then after that, it was just kind of dog shit.
Wait, which Batman?
Christopher Nolan's.
Wait, which ones?
Christopher Nolan, Christian Bale.
That was the Christian Bale ones? Yeah. Yo, those were fucking awesome, dude. Those were fucking awesome. Those are the type of movies, like if you're flipping through and you get it like early enough, you just leave it on. You just watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Levy, your turn. Pick a trailer.
How about Stowaway? Isn't that the only one? Oh, no, wait, there's the other one. But yeah, Stowaway.
That I included that because it looks really interesting. Like if you were just a fucking tech guy working on the fucking shuttle or whatever, and it launches and you're like, oh shit, I'm in fucking space.
Yeah.
What do I do now?
Yeah.
How did that happen? Like he passed out? Like what did he have, a fucking or not an anxiety attack, like like he had some kind of attack and just passed the fuck out and was inside the shuttle? Is that what I was getting out of that trailer? That's how it happened?
He seems like he got wrapped up inside the compartment somehow.
Yeah, I don't know if he was like somebody that worked on, or if he's just somebody that snuck on board. But I don't know. I think if they were to find somebody like that who was untrained for space travel, I think they would just turn right around and go back.
Well, I guess that's the whole point about what Daniel Day Kim's character was saying, is that it was like years and years and years of preparation would be down the drain.
Yeah.
So we'll just like fucking wing it.
Yeah, but
dude, it was crazy to think about though. They were saying it's a 2-year trip, and then the great grand scheme of things, 2 years doesn't seem like a long time. But think about everything that happened during 2020. I mean, it was maybe a ridiculously shitty year, but like a lot of shit happens every year, man. Like when you have the New Year's Eve celebrations and they kind of do the year review, and you're like, fuck, man, that's a lot of shit that happened. Like 2 fucking years is a long time to be gone, from family members and friends that you might just never fucking see again because you don't know who's going to pass away and all that shit. Like that's a crazy thing to think about.
Well, the other thing to think about though is in that situation, if you have somebody that you didn't plan resources for,
yeah,
right,
you're fucked because they only give you the resources that you need. Because launching, I don't remember the exact cost, but just launching, $1 billion. So, they can only, they can't give you, they don't give you extra resources, just in case. No, they calculate out exactly how much you're going to need and whatnot. And now all of a sudden you have another mouth to feed. Yeah,
well, wait a second. You, I don't know about if he broke up for you, Jeb, but he broke up for me a little bit. You were saying it takes how much money to?
I don't know the exact cost, but it's like exorbitant amounts of money to launch stuff into space. Because
of like storage and all that shit.
Well, just the general cost of it all. I don't know exactly why it costs so much, but first off, the amount of fuel or the cost of the fuel itself,
right,
and whatnot. Just launching it into space is just very expensive to do.
Yeah, but I'm still not understanding why they don't just throw a couple extra cheeseburgers in for these motherfuckers, like just in case. No, because like. They launched an extra 195-pound dude in space, and it was free.
What I'm saying is they didn't plan for them. They have to, and there's no extra space. There's no extra space. They cram everything that they can in as minimal space as possible. Again, because of the cost.
Once again, they crammed 195-pound dude into a free spot.
Yeah. Again, this is a fictional movie.
No, I know it is. I mean, I'm playing devil's advocate a little bit, but because you think you'd have to have extra shit because you never know when some kind of crazy emergency is going to happen.
They don't. They do not.
They have.
I know they have more than tertiary backups of things. There's like at least 3 systems that are running just in case one fails, second fails.
Yeah, that sort of thing. I'm talking about resources.
And ever since like Apollo 11, they always, have extra components too in case like something happens. You can swap it out with another component.
Yeah, I get that. What I'm saying is they calculate out what they would need and what is acceptable. But to
like oxygen,
but to have an extra person that they didn't account for, they're fucked. Right.
Like oxygen.
That's what I'm trying to say.
CO2 scrubbers, food, water, that type of Yeah.
To account for a person that they didn't account or to take care of a person that they didn't account for. Yeah, they don't do that. It's
for 2 years.
Yeah, they're totally fucked. So that alone, I think they would have most likely. I mean, realistically, they should have turned right back around.
I thought it was going to take a darker turn than it looked like it was going to take. Like basically, it played out where it looks like they're really just trying to like work together and figure out how to get through this. But I thought it was going to turn into like,
Oh, I thought it took a real dark turn when they said that not everyone was going to survive.
Well, yeah, it did. But I mean, like, like people within the ship, like between the 4 of them plotting and planning against each other to murder, I thought it was going to be like that kind of route.
All right, Private Johnson, you will be sleeping in airlock tonight.
Oh, okay.
We moved all your shit in there.
Shit. What else is left?
This last trailer was what's it called, Levy? I don't have it up in front of me. It's Enhanced. I was on Coming Soon, and I saw this clip where it was like this fight clip, and I was like, wow, this is a really good fight scene. And they didn't say what fucking movie it was from, and it took me like 20 minutes to figure out what fucking movie this was. So I finally found it, and because the clip itself, the fight clip, it reminded me of like a Marvel movie with just like the fucking shields and the electrified, staffs that they were using and shit, and like the military coming after like mutants or enhanced people or whatever. I thought maybe it was a clip from a Winter Soldier episode, but yeah, I saw this movie. I didn't even know about it, but it sounds interesting. I mean, it looks a little bit low budget, but it seems like it was an interesting story.
Yeah, it looked interesting. Yeah, I mean,
is that it? Just interesting.
Yeah, nothing about it really caught me.
Right.
So
you didn't see nothing that hasn't been done before, right, Levy?
Yeah.
It gave me like a mutant X-Men type of thing vibe.
Yeah, I was catching like a super soldier type of thing. A little bit.
Yeah, like that sort. Yeah.
Like it could have been. Yeah. This could have been like a Weapon X or Department H or whatever the fuck.
Right. Yeah. But it's coming out, I think, in a couple days or maybe today. So I'm gonna check that out. What do you want? You want to do what we watched, Mike?
Yeah, let's do that.
What'd you watch, Mike?
So I watched a lot of fucking TV and movies and shit, man, over that week. But one that I finally saw that you'll probably be surprised that I never saw it before, but it was the first time ever seeing it. Event Horizon.
You never seen Event Horizon?
I never saw Event Horizon from beginning to end. It was good, man. It really was.
Especially considering that was directed by Paul W.S. Anderson.
Yeah, that was probably one of his only like opus
good movies.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. Mostly because it didn't have Mila Jovovich in it.
Right. Yeah.
Who?
His wife. Mila Jovovich.
Is a Resident Evil Monster Hunter.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The director of those movies is married to her.
Mm-hmm. And he's the guy that did Event Horizon.
Event Horizon was, I'll tell you what, man. That was a good fucking movie, man. It didn't go where I thought it was going to go.
Mm-hmm.
Like it really didn't. Like it started out as like a sci-fi type of movie and ended up being a straight fucking horror movie, dude.
Yeah.
Tell you what, if I mentioned this before, but like now today, where you can freeze frame shit, like in the video, you go to that ending scene when it's just like everybody getting tortured in hell. There's some fucked up shit going on in there. It goes real fast.
Yeah.
But you stop those frames, man. It's fucked up shit.
There's a cut of that film that we will never see because that movie was supposed to be a lot more violent and a lot more graphic. And I think those scenes weren't supposed to be just flashes. And he had to cut it down. He had to trim it down and to get the R rating. And so
I can see a lot of preparation going into some of those scenes. Some pretty fucked up shit. So
I think a lot of those quick flash scenes of the torture and everything like that, I think that was supposed to be a lot more extended. But yeah, just even the way the film is now, it's just like such a unsettling film.
Oh, for sure.
You know, when Sam Neill freaking cuts his freaking eyes out and he's just like, and it's like, God damn. You're Dr. Grant. You're supposed to be marveling at dinosaurs, not freaking cutting your eyes out.
That was part of it that tripped me out a little bit, was the fact that like when he got like, that's who I associate him with, man. You know, that was the first thing that I really remember seeing him in, like where he was a major character. And it's like, man, I thought the same thing. Because he really, like, his whole character arc was wild. Like, he seemed like he was just happy to be on a ship and he was going along for whatever experiment or, you know, scientific fucking whatever and shit. And then, like, he ended up being this crazy fucking asshole, dude. Wild. Spoiler alert.
And
that's the funny part, because if you look back at some of the movies that he did, like in the 70s and early 80s, he did a lot of horror movies.
Yeah.
He did In the Mouth of Madness. He did another one. I forget what the hell the other one that it was like basically the same type of idea. It was like crazy type of thing. But yeah, he was in a lot of horror stuff back then.
Yeah.
Before he became, you know, Dr. Grant.
Dr. Grant. Yeah.
From what I understand, Event Horizon was a major influence on the people who created Dead Space, the video game series.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I can see that. Yeah, I can see that for sure.
I mean, you've seen Dead Space, Mike, right?
I've seen the animations. Dude, the Dead Space animations were good, man.
Yeah.
And the second one, I don't know if did you ever see the second one?
No.
Second one's worth watching. So. Second one's worth, you got to make it past it starts out with like really cheesy Beast Wars type of animation, which would have been fine if it came out in fucking 1992, but it's newer. And you're like, what the fuck is this? But they flash back to like, it's basically the real bad animation is the part that's telling the story. But then when they, you know, when characters describing a story and then they cut to the story, when they cut to the story, it goes to the fucking same animation from the first one. So I have to make it past all that opening bullshit, like without saying, oh, this sucks and turning it off.
The story of Dead Space got really weird. Like, it was good, but did you ever play the games, Jed?
Yeah, I played the first one.
The first one. The third game wasn't very good because EA tried to monetize the shit out of it, but it really did expand on the mythology of the Necromorphs and shit. Because I don't know if you remember from the first game, they were talking about the convergence.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Because because you know they had that pseudo Scientology religion called unitology, and it was like, you know, they worship the marker and all this stuff, and it turned out that the marker itself was what was causing the necromorph infection and everything. But the convergence, it was revealed in the third game, was actually like the purpose of the necromorph infection was to kill all of the living beings on a planet and then take that biological material, and it would all converge into what was called into a giant planetoid-sized mass, and it was called a brethren moon. So it was basically an undead, unliving mass of biological material that could travel through space, and that was like the size of a moon, right?
Cool.
And
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, man. Yeah, that's cool.
I took I have the 4K Event Horizon. I just took a couple screenshots. I threw it in the Discord from that flashback stuff.
Yeah,
it's some funky shit. You don't really see because it just goes real quick.
Yeah. But yeah, so then like the Brethren Moons, they end up finding Earth, and basically it's kind of like the end of humanity. So, spoiler alert for like a 10-year-old game. But the first two games are fantastic. And then the third game is like I said, it's all right, but like EA tried to monetize the shit out of it. So
when I played that first game, there's a lot of scare, like shock moments.
Mm-hmm.
It got me, and I was like, because I knew what I was knew what was in store for, but I didn't there was a couple of them that got me, and I was like, you got me.
There was one jump scare that got me exactly one time, and I never fell for it again. It was the body that was laying on the ground that would jump up and was actually a necromorph. Every other body I came across, boom, I'd shoot it. Like every body I came across after that point, I would stand back and I would shoot it, and if it would jump up, I'm like, all right, now I'm going to kill you. So,
well, there was one
that first one got me.
The one that got me was, it was like you going. That's right. It was early in the game. You're going through like a hallway, and it was going up a stairs around a corner, and you saw like a shadow go, like it was like a shadow, like fleeting the stairway. But then then one of them attacked you from behind, and I was like, oh, you got me, you fuck.
Some of my favorite scenes and the parts that really got me was when you were in the areas of the ship that were open to the vacuum of space, so there was no sound. You could only hear your breathing inside the suit, right? So you couldn't hear if there was something running around out there in the halls and like around the corner and shit. So there were a couple times when you come around the corner, there'd be a necromorph right there and it'd grab you, So that shit was cool. But yeah, Dead Space is a fun game. It's on the 360, Mike, if you ever want to give it a shot. It's really, really great games. So I thought the second game was much scarier than the first one. Just because like the atmosphere and everything I thought was better. The first game, once I got past the initial shock value of the necromorphs and the jump scares and stuff like that, I didn't find it to be all that scary. It was definitely unsettling, and it was very dark and creepy atmosphere. But as far as like scares go, it didn't really get me too bad as I progressed in the game. But the second game had a lot of really, really great stuff in it. Not to say that, because like Dead Space 1 is still one of my favorite games of all time.
I played that on the PC, Levy, and I added like the mods to make it like even better looking.
Yeah,
it was really nice when you have like you have a decent graphics card, and you can pump up all the levels of everything. Yeah, it's much better than the 360 version.
Yeah.
But anyways, what else did you watch, Mike, besides Event Horizon?
Well, both Winter Soldier or Falcon and Winter Soldier episodes we watched.
We didn't watch the second one yet, so
me neither. I haven't watched the second one yet either.
Wow, look at me ahead of the game for once.
It's called Work, Mike.
I watched like 16 hours of Fist of the North Star. Vanessa, what was that show that we were watching with the chick from American Horror Story, the Stevie Nicks witch? Tell Me Your Secrets. You watched a season of Tell Me Your Secrets. What was it? Some Amazon Prime or some shit? On Amazon Prime. That was actually kind of a cool series.
What was that about?
It's some twisted shit, man. There's a girl that's in witness protection. Her boyfriend was like a axe murderer, and she blacked out and couldn't remember shit, and it turned into this whole fucking twisted story, the missing kids, and there was a rapist and all. It would take me forever to really like get in and try to give you the gist of what was going on, but it was just it was one of those ones where like when you got to the final episode and everything, you found out that it was just a crazy fucking twisted tale.
Interesting.
Worth watching. Yeah, it was worth watching. The Stevie Nicks witch. You know which one I'm talking about from American Horror Story? She played the nun in. She was the nun that turned into the bad girl at the end of Asylum.
Okay.
You know that one.
Yeah.
She was in it, and who the fuck else was in it, man? I don't know. She was in it. She was good. It was a good story.
What did you guys think of the first episode of Winter Soldier and Falcon?
It was fun. I mean, it was a first episode, kind of like getting you kind of broken in to what's going to be going on. Of course, the end, like the U.S. agent thing. By the way, could they pick a more derpy looking Johnny Walker? Like he just looked like
that's Kurt Russell's
son.
Is it?
Yeah, he's in that movie. He played a really good part too in that movie. What's his name? Wyatt Russell? Is that his name?
I think so.
Shit. It was like a World War II movie, but then it kind of turned into like this weird science fiction thing where they were like juicing up like soldiers and making them into like these weird like zombie things. There was a movie. I want to say like Operation something or fuck. I don't. It was a good movie though, but he played a good part in that. And he usually doesn't look derpy like that, so it must have been the helmet.
Yeah, that's exactly because no spoiler. Obviously, they show him without his fucking uniform, like his mask on and shit in the second episode. And when he doesn't have it on, he just looks like a normal dude. But it's like I feel like they did that on purpose with the costume that they gave him. Like, when you see somebody at a con and they're cosplaying and it's like not quite like it's just it just makes him look like a goon and shit. Like I feel like they did it on purpose, man. They gave him some half-assed, Captain America costume off a Wish and threw him out there. We were laughing because the way that the mask is, it makes his face, it makes the little space between your nose and your mouth, whatever that's called, is really short on his, and it made him look like a fucking like him. If they told me that was Captain America and I had to fight him, I would take that fight. Steve Rogers, maybe not, but that dude would get wrecked.
They're like, the costume's so much cheaper on AliExpress.
Yeah, right. I don't know. I like where it's going. I like where it's going.
I thought there was some boring parts in it. The first episode, when Sam was like trying to help his sister with the boat and the bank loan.
A lot of setup. Yeah,
but
I'm curious to see what happens because you know how Marvel does it. By the end of this series, there's going to be something major coming out of it, leading into the next one.
Right. The did we talk about the last episode of WandaVision?
Oh my God, did we?
I was trying to remember that earlier, and I couldn't quite remember if we talked about it or not.
I don't think it ended. I don't think it had ended yet before we had talked about, or since the last time we.
I think you're right.
So, what do you guys think? Were you happy with the ending, or did you like your headcanon kind of ride like how the show was?
No, I was happy with it.
Yeah.
I would have liked Evan Peters to have a more substantial, I would like his being there to have been more impactful.
More impactful than Ralph Boner.
Yeah. Boner.
Yeah. But I mean, other than that, I mean,
no Mephisto, no Magneto, no Doctor Strange,
no X-Men,
no X-Men.
Yeah. Nothing.
No Fantastic Four, no Reed Richards, no Blue Marvel.
Yeah, what the fuck, man? Wait. Let's back up for a second. She's talking about her astrophysicist friend.
Mm-hmm.
Who was that?
It was that chick from that next episode when she gave her that little mini tank thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was her. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that
happened to be a Skrull?
No, I think that was somebody else, wasn't it?
Or was that someone else that was the Skrull?
That was a separate actress, I think.
Oh, okay.
Someone, and I can't remember who mentioned it, if it was Josh or maybe it was somebody else, but there was a discussion about how the timing of Black Widow coming out, it might have been Jared and Josh might have been having this conversation on a post. I think Jared said it would have been like a good movie to watch before years ago when it should have came out. Before Endgame, would be more eventful. And Josh kind of brought up a good point that maybe she still might be in it, but maybe the Romanoff that died was a Skrull.
Oh
man.
And the secret invasion might bring her back, type of thing. And I was like,
I just hope they don't.
Interesting.
That's interesting, but I hope they don't like. That's an easy trap to fall into, where you just start using scrolls to,
to hand wave away impactful, meaningful death.
Yeah. I hope they don't get into that kind of habit, man.
They did that in the comics during the secret invasion, like Elektra and a couple other people that got killed. I think Hawkeye might have been one of them. I know Elektra. I think there was, I can't remember if it was Wasp or Ant-Man or something like that. But yeah, there was a handful that died and they were brought back that way.
Yeah.
But I was like, I never thought about that. Like, yeah, they might do that. You guys, you both watched Justice League, the Zack Snyder version. And I know Mike.
No, I didn't watch it. No, I didn't watch it. I probably will eventually.
I know. I probably is like you didn't really like. Oh, you didn't watch it. You didn't like it.
No, I didn't watch it. I didn't watch it.
Oh, I thought you watched it and you didn't like it.
Nah, I would just take the sandwich over the chance to watch it.
I was gonna say you would choose the cold cut over the Snyder cut.
This cold cut.
I liked it. I thought it was good. I mean, I didn't think it was great, but I thought it was better than Josh Whedon's version of it.
Yeah.
I mean, who would have thought that 2 more hours would have put so much more content in the
movie? Yeah.
But no, it was yeah. It was I liked it a lot. It was pretty good. Well, it wasn't a great movie, but it was good.
Mean, I really love what they did with Cyborg. Really fleshed out his character, made him, matter.
Mm-hmm.
Same with Barry, though the scene with Iris was a little weird and creepy.
I actually like that, except for the floating hot dog.
Well, I mean, like, it's just kind of creepy, him reaching up, like, caressing her face. Like, he doesn't even know her. And it's just
didn't
weird.
Caress her face. He just moved her hair.
He ran his hand down her cheek, dude. Come on.
He moved the hair away from the hot dog. It was the problem I had with that scene was that I just kept seeing that fucking GIF with all the hot dogs flying at the chick's face.
Yeah.
And that's all I kept thinking of during that scene.
I thought the humor in that scene kind of fell flat with the dogs and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And there were some things that didn't make sense story wise, but like my brother-in-law had made a funny point where it's like Zack Snyder probably had the attitude of like, I filmed it, fuck it, I'm putting it in. So contradictory to other things, but all in all, I really did enjoy it a lot. And because remember when Justice League the original movie came out, I said that I enjoyed it. I mean, I recognized that it was not a good movie, but I still enjoyed it. But I look back at it and I'm like, it doesn't really hold up,
Right.
And now, like, I watched this and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I really, really liked it a lot. It's not the best superhero film I've ever seen, but it was a coherent story. And you cared about the characters. There was so much more weight and stakes behind what they were doing. There was reasons for what they were doing. Not like the first movie where it was all just kind of surface level bullshit. Like, right. They were just doing this, and that's all it was. Is they were fighting Steppenwolf, and that's all it was. Mm-hmm. There was no indication as to like larger stakes, right. Or grand motivations especially for Steppenwolf. He had like no motivations at all. When they were bringing back Superman, it's like they were bringing him back, and that was it. That was all there was to it. Whereas in this one, when they brought him back, they had to wrestle with, the potential consequences of bringing him back, like with the visions that Cyborg was seeing. Like he started second guessing: is this the right thing to do?
Right.
And it's just there's just more. There was more meaning. It was more meaningful, I think. And Steppenwolf was a much better villain in this. we had a much better understanding of why he was doing what he was doing. Batman wasn't a comic relief character,
right?
Thank God. And one of my favorite things about it was that Superman did not render the rest of the league useless, because in the original cut of the movie, when he showed up, the others might as well have just been like, we're going home, and because he handled everything.
Right.
They were struggling against fighting Steppenwolf, so he came in and beat the piss out of them. Fucking Cyborg was having trouble with separating the mother boxes, which, by the way, all involved was just brute strength. They were just having to physically separate them. Whereas in this movie, they had to the other members of the league had things that they had to do that only they could do. Like Cyborg was the only one that could go in there and separate the mother boxes. Flash was the only one that could do what he did. I don't want to really spoil much, but he was the only one that could do what he did.
One thing
without it was lost.
In the original one, the first time it came out, did they show him did he get wounded in that scene at the end?
Yeah, but
or was that added?
No, that scene at all, that whole thing at the end there.
Yeah,
that wasn't even in the film at all. There was another scene where he got shot in the leg during the fight underneath the prison, under Blackgate Prison. He got shot in the leg, but they just cut away from it because it didn't matter. Whereas in this movie, they hung on that shot and showed how much pain he was in, and really showed the impact of that injury. And so and then the same thing at the end of the movie, they really drove that home. So
there was,
I think, like I said, I think it's much better constructed film.
Can't remember if there was an interview, if it was Zack Snyder or somebody like a writer that was associated with it. But they said one of the reasons why Superman stopped fighting them when he came back wasn't just because he saw Lois, but it was because he saw that Lois was pregnant. And he he kind of knew that she was, and that's why the whole thing, it was like a sub thing about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was definitely had a lot more character development, and the right character development too.
Yeah.
Mike, it's a decent movie. It's you might want to watch it.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll watch it at some point.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I've been watching was it Superman Lois? I really like that show. It's actually it's really good.
Surprisingly good.
Surprisingly good. Yeah.
His sons don't really annoy me.
Right. It's not so super super CW angsty teen bullshit. And I, because of liking that, I've come to hate the Flash. I've watched the Flash, and it's just not good anymore compared to that.
Like his son's problems are, I think, very realistic. Because they moved to a new town, and the one son who was always the star, he was the star athlete, he was the popular kid, and now he's kind of relegated to the outcast now, and the one that was the outcast is a big role reversal. And like that, he feels like he's stealing a spotlight and everything. So I feel like the conflicts are very realistic and very well handled. And
plus, Sean, you remember that dude, Levy, that guy? He said something to me too. He's like, "Oh, he's the one son. You might get like a whole Brightburn type of thing out of him too, because he might kind of get all wackadoo and turn and start fucking shit up. Maybe,
or it might be that other kid. Did you watch the latest episode?
Yeah. The one that got hit by the explosion from the fire and got powers. He came back dressed like he was at Xavier school.
Yeah.
He literally had an X test. Yeah. That was one thing that was kind of shitty about it. They're like, oh yeah, there's a school that gifted kids can go to learn to use their powers.
Yeah.
Is it in fucking New York?
Yeah.
Is there a bald guy running it? And then the dude came back and he's wearing a fucking blue outfit with a yellow X across the front. I'm like, I do like the whole Lex Luthor multiverse version thing going on. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Captain Luthor.
Yes. I watched the first 3 episodes of night of Invincible last night.
I haven't watched it yet.
It's really good. I have to apologize to Josh because when I read the comics, I don't remember it being as good as the cartoon is. I don't remember a lot of like parts. Maybe I didn't read that far or something, but there's a lot of stuff that's in there that's a lot more interesting and like I love versus the book that when I read it.
Maybe it's because it's in motion and animated too.
No, there's like storylines in it. Just don't remember. But yeah, it's really good. I highly recommend it. I like it a lot. It gives you like I'm not gonna spoil anything for you, Levy, so you gotta watch it. It's really good.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it tomorrow when I'm smoking meat. So
Sorry.
what? I'm smoking some chicken roast and pork belly tomorrow.
I was jizzle on that.
That's what I was thinking. Oh man. We're definitely fucking children,
Anybody watch anything else?
I'm actually getting April to sit down and watch Avatar: The Last Airbender with me.
Oh,
she's seen episodes before, like when I would watch it, but she never actually sat down and watched it. So we're sitting down. We're gonna watch that, and then after that, we're gonna watch Legend of Korra. So
I never watched that. I did watch Airbender, but I never watched Legend of Korra.
Oh, you should watch it just for the level or for the animation alone. Being an animation fan that you are, this show, the Legend of Korra, has some of the best animation I've ever seen in a show. It's really, really good.
I'll put it in my queue. You guys want to move on to the news? I don't have much.
Yeah. Okay.
Indiana Jones is going to be coming out, the 4-movie collection, on 4K in June. So we're going to get all 4 movies in 4K. I think the 4th movie was in 4K already, but the original trilogy wasn't.
Awesome.
Yeah. So that's in June for that.
Some of my favorite adventure films.
Yeah, mine too. I'd like to see what the kind of, like, if they do any restoration to anything, if it changes anything. You know how Lucas is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Spielberg
maybe might add some CGI aliens.
I know Spielberg is very much like against doing that type of stuff, but see what kind of agreement they came to. John Wick director Chad Stahelski, I think he's going to be helming an adaptation of Ghost of Tsushima for Sony.
Ooh, yes.
That was your Beast Wars section. Yes.
So that sounds cool. And because that dude is he's originally a stunt coordinator, I think, the director. So that should be pretty cool. And
have you played Ghost of Tsushima, Jed?
I have not.
Oh, you should.
There's a couple of games that I have, like Last of Us 2, Ghost of Tsushima. I got to finish Final Fantasy 7. There's a bunch of stuff I have to play. I've been away from like video games for a little while, so back into it.
Last of Us 2 is really good too.
Did you finish that?
Don't pay attention to the naysayers.
Yeah.
No, I haven't finished it yet, but it's really good.
Cool.
So,
oh, and the last bit of news, Shazam, Fury of the Gods casts Dame Helen Mirren as the villainous Hesperia.
Yes.
I feel like all this news is just for Levy.
Yeah, right. What's it rated, Jed? Are there any nudity scenes or what?
I have a feeling it was
Shazam movie. I don't think so.
Yeah. Maybe she'll be wearing some type of revealing outfit.
Yeah.
For you, Levy, Yes. And that's it. That's all the news I got. Weird news.
I have some weird news. So let's see here. So I have a couple stories here. The first 2 are actually from Blackout and Shout contributor Lorianne Vargo.
Oh no!
She sent me a couple links.
I'm sorry.
Oh, these are actually. Well, God damn it!
It's funny because she she'll send me and you the same thing, like in tandem, and then she'll be like, "Well, Levy said that it's funny." I'm like, I didn't read it. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
But she did say the one. You did tell her the one thing was fake. I think.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was real sad about that. She thought it was real. Did you include that?
No, I tried not to include fake news.
So the fake story that she found, Mike, was that there's a man eats his wife in an elevator after being stuck in it for like 2 days.
Yeah, and she believed it. So, I mean, I just reading the headline, I'm like, this is totally fake. And then I looked at the freaking source, which is like World News Daily, and I was like, I had to be like, yeah, World News Daily's notorious.
It was off of OAN.
So this is she sent me this link from the New York Post, and I also read from another source that because of what happened here, 10% of the world's global trade is at a standstill because a cargo ship drew a penis and a butt on its radar before getting stuck in the Suez Canal. Basically, what it did is it charted a course so that when you looked at the map, its path was in the shape of an ass and a dick and balls. Now the butt is very crude. It's basically just two large polygonal shapes with basically a line going through the middle to represent the crack. But the penis is very definitely a penis and balls. So here, I'll put it in the chat here for you guys to look at.
The funny part is that ship is like the size of the Empire State Building.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Yeah. So
it has 30,000 containers. They're basically the size of like a tractor trailer size.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. It's huge. Why is it not going? Anyway, where's my? Yeah, I'm in the basement. Anyway, well, hopefully it should be coming into the chat soon. You guys don't see it yet?
Mm-mm.
No.
Oh, I think I posted it. I posted it in the wrong chat. That's why. There we go. There you go.
Fuck.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Do you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could say that was more like a HOTAS and 2 screens playing Elite.
Yeah. Yeah. So after they did that, they went into the Suez Canal and kind of went sideways and ran aground and blocked the entire Suez Canal, which caused a huge backup of ships trying to get through.
It was wasn't it wind? Didn't the wind blow the ship off course or something?
Did it? Maybe.
I think that's what I read.
Yeah, the way in which the ship became stuck was the most awkward way possible. Mm-hmm. Scott Railton tweeted. And
there's like they have to remove like I forget how many cubic tons of sand to like get it unstuck.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I thought that was pretty funny. they drew a dick and balls on the radar map. It just proves that dick jokes will never ever get old.
Oh, never in a million fucking years, dude. Never in a million years.
So, second story also comes from the New York Post. This is also contributed by Lori. A New York City man sells fart for $85, cashing in on the NFT craze. Basically, he recorded a year's worth of fart audio clips recorded in quarantine and sold them as an NFT.
Wow.
For 85, and somebody paid $85. You know what, man? We're in the wrong fucking business.
Mike, what are you going to do with that $85? That's art.
On the 1 year anniversary of the U.S.'s COVID-19 quarantine this month, by which point Ramirez Malice, who's the guy who recorded it, said he could darn near identify members of the group by their farts alone. Ramirez Malice and his fellow farters compiled their recordings into a 52-minute master collection audio file. 52 minutes of farts.
Who wants that? Like, you know what, dude? Not only did he get somebody paid $85 for something that most of us wouldn't want for free.
You got to remember though,
that?
Mike. You got to remember it was probably in an auction, so there were people bidding on that.
There were people bidding.
Yeah. Well, apparently here it says, "Oh no, I'm sorry. The $85 a pop was for individual fart recordings."
Oh.
They were made available for 0.05 Ethereum, or about $85 a pop. No, the 52-minute recording, the top bid for the file is currently $183. If the value increases, they could have an extremely valuable fart on their hands.
You got to cash in on the NFT, Mike.
Wait. So each recording of the fart,
he's selling it for $85 a pop.
$85 a pop for each fart,
so to speak.
So not even the 52 minutes of farts, just one fart. You get one
fart, $85.
You get one. So what is the significance? So he has 52 minutes worth of these farts.
Yeah.
So hypothetically speaking,
in one master collection.
So if he sells every fart, I mean, we're talking a lot of money. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Is this real? Like, no,
it's on the New York Post. It's got to be.
Sometimes when I hear shit like this, dude, I think to myself, like, I actually get like, it's funny, but then I get fucking angry because I got to go into my fucking job like Monday through Friday, and like, and I don't hate my job by any stretch of the imagination, but just like I got to go there, and some guys selling fucking farts on the internet for $85 a piece.
Somebody sold an NFT that was basically a 3D cube spinning.
Yeah.
In slow motion for $66,000.
That is unfucking believable. Like, don't you get mad when you hear that? You got to get at least a little mad. Like,
yeah.
You know how when we were talking about like fighting earlier, how like things like you tell me you sold a fucking fart on the internet for $85 and I went in and put up with my boss's shit today. Like, I want to punch you in the fucking mouth if you told me that. I can feel myself getting pissed off right now, man.
I remember there was that woman who was selling what the hell was it? Fresh air from Iceland, I think. Like, you know, in like mason jars for like $20 a pop on Etsy.
Oh man. Unbelievable.
Iceland air or something. It was or Canada, where it was like really nice, and she was just selling the air from.
Like, what do you do with that? Do you keep that MISB mint and sealed bottle, or do you fucking crack it open in
mint and sealed jar?
Mint and sealed jar, or do you like crack it open and take a whiff? Like, what do you do with
mint and sealed peel?
Oh my god, what fucking planet are we living on? I can't take it.
So,
what else you got, Levy?
Well, for my third and final story, I have a true story, mind you, of Cocaine Bear, the bear that loved to eat cocaine. So this goes all the way back to 1985, September 11th, 1985.
Of course it does.
85. What other year could it happen?
Wait. Is this Peter Collins Bear?
1985.
Yeah.
So fucking A, man.
On September 11th in 1985, in the state of Kentucky, an old man woke up and went outside and found a corpse of a man in his driveway. This corpse was wearing a bulletproof vest and was strapped to a parachute. He also had on him night vision goggles, several handguns, and around $14 million worth of cocaine. The elderly man called the police. I should also mention this is from IFL Science. I forgot to mention that when I started this. He called the police, and they identified the corpse as Andrew C. Thornton, who is a former paratrooper and narcotics officer and lawyer who used those skills to become a parachuting drug smuggler for a ring known as the Company. So that happened. Several months later, in Chattahoochee National Forest in Georgia, near where the
Chattahoochee. That's like one of them places that you hear about in a cartoon and you don't realize is a real place until like there's a story about it. Like Albuquerque.
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, so he this guy he was flying a plane and had set the plane on autopilot before jumping from it and was to hand the cocaine once landing safely was to hand in the cocaine once landing safely in Kentucky. Apparently the plane crashed 96.5 kilometers away when he after he jumped. So they don't know if like his parachute failed or if he deployed it too late. Like apparently, I guess his friends have said that he liked to play a game of waiting as long as he possibly could before opening the chute. So it's entirely possible he just opened it too late because it was dark or whatever. So anyway, so 3 months later, not far from where the plane was found, a 175-pound black bear was discovered, surrounded by 40 opened plastic packages that contained traces of cocaine. The 40 packages they determined held 70 pounds of the white powder, and the bear ate all of it.
All of it.
All of it. All 70 pounds. 70 pounds of cocaine. Its stomach was literally packed to the brim with cocaine. The medical examiner who looked inside the animal's stomach told Kentucky.
Oh, so the bear didn't make it.
No. In fact, the medical examiner said there isn't a mammal on the planet that could survive eating 70 pounds of cocaine.
Yeah. What about a whale? Like what about a big?
Nope.
What's the fucking big one? The blue whale?
Nope.
Really? 70 pounds of cocaine would do the whale.
70 pounds of cocaine will kill a whale. So cerebral hemorrhaging, respiratory failure, hypothermia, renal failure, heart failure, stroke, you name it, that bear had it.
Yeah. It might kill an animal, but doesn't kill a voice actor and do it in Terrence Ford.
They also called this bear Pablo Escobar.
Pablo.
So apparently they took the bear. It was taxidermied and stuffed, and had made the rounds different places and whatnot. So the bear had garnered a bit of a reputation. The reason I'm mentioning this is because now a movie has been optioned, and reportedly it's going to be directed by Elizabeth Banks.
So weird.
So yeah. So
Yeah,
that's the true story, the tragic true story of Cocaine Bear,
Pablo.
the bear that loved cocaine.
If you told Peter Cullen that a bear did 70 pounds of cocaine, Peter Cullen would go
A comically large amount of cocaine.
Yeah. Peter Cullen will go, well, what drugs did he do after that? Pussy.
It was the fresh air that killed him.
It was the fresh air that killed him.
You know what you were saying about funny words, Mike?
Yeah.
There was this comic book artist that died. I was going to include it in the desk, but I didn't, just to save on time. But anyway, his name was Frank Thorne, right? And he drew Red Sonja for like Marvel and everything, and he did like some heavy metal stuff, right? But one of his claim to fames was a character for Playboy called Moonshine McJugs.
Sounds
from Kentucky.
Yeah, it sounds classy.
Moonshine McJugs.
I'm sure it was well written.
So that's it for my weird news. You guys saw my listener questions post today, right?
Yeah,
we did.
I just love that picture of the bear. It's like, I fucking love cocaine.
That's Pablo for you.
Pablo Escobar.
Peter.
So,
what's the next stop on this adventure?
Well, how about some toy news?
Yeah, toy news. Okay, so I only have a couple of pieces. I try to cut this shit down to like stuff that we're all in. I mentioned the cup earlier. So X-Transbots put a post up and they said that they were basically replacing everybody's cups. Like It started out as talk of like replacement parts. And I don't know what happened with everybody else personally, but like mine, a replacement part wasn't solving anything or replacement parts. But they actually said they were going to replace everybody's like with a new cup.
Mm-hmm.
So, which is good. And that is good. But what do you think that turns into, Jed? Do you think it's actually like, all right, we're going to replace all this shit and everything is going to go on as normal? Or
no.
you think we're going to see a little bit of a price hike in future products?
Remember I was saying that they're probably pushing out those repaints so they can get some extra scratch for that, fixer-upper that they have to fucking replace.
Yeah, I saw you said that earlier today or whenever it was, but yeah, I could definitely see that. Yeah,
I also see whatever their next probably Galvatron will probably be a little bit more expensive than normal.
Yeah, and that's a good segue. So they revealed their Galvatron.
What do you think?
What do I think?
Mm-hmm.
I think
the Fan Toys ones.
Yeah, I have the Fan Toys one, and it's like it's so good. Like I don't know who the hell is gonna replace it, unless they just feel like enough time has passed by and they're planning on doing the entire cast of the movie, obviously. So it's like, yeah, what do they got? They got Cup and Springer's coming out, and they did the Quintessons, and they're doing the Bailiff, and they did Cyclonus and Scourge. Like, so it'd be weird if they started like coming out with all these characters and just left Galvatron out, I guess. And I feel like they maybe think enough time has passed by, but I don't know, man. Sovereign was so good.
Way back when, before the whole Stunticon thing happened, and they started pushing those out real cheap to beat that whole KO thing.
Yeah,
they had plans to redo the Galvatron, and
I remember seeing that a while ago, but I thought they were just kind of. I don't know. I just never thought I'd see the day.
This has been their order. I mean, that they wanted to release stuff in, but it's been. I think they're probably a year and a half behind on what they wanted to do. Because I know Motormaster was supposed to come out like last December, not this, past December.
I remember talking about.
Yeah. And no. Just Motormaster way back when it was supposed to come out like 1 year ago, December, not this past December. So they were like a year behind on stuff. But from what I remember, the list being that it was Keith, I think, said was that they were going to do Cup, Springer, Galvatron, and then they were going to work on the other stuff after that. So I could see them doing maybe like a Rodimus as well, maybe.
I would love a fucking Rodimus. If they can get their shit together, I would love a Rodimus. Because the MP9 sucks, basically. I mean, he's good when he's just standing there, but he basically sucks.
Right.
And the DX9 one was really fucking cool, and I like it, but Brother Kyle's right, man. Like, it just kind of doesn't fit in with the current look, between Fans Toys and XTB.
Well, they did tease Ultra Magnus as well.
Yeah. I'm wondering where that's gonna fall in, because I wouldn't mind a Magnus either, man.
So I remember there was a rumor that originally they were just going to release armor for the MP10 that would, redo things.
Yeah.
But since the MP44 came out, I don't know if that's still the case, or if they're going to do the whole thing or not.
I would hope they do the whole thing. I would hope they would do the whole thing. How the hell would you even do armor for MP10? Because any kind of armor that you do for a smaller robot, his joints are still going to be where they are. Right. Like, the knee joint. That's why those combiners, those two robot combiners like Leo or Star Saber and Victory Leo, like, it's cool in concept, but like nobody's really going to pull that off the right way, because like you're going to look at him and they're all going to have really short fucking stubby like hips, and he's really super long lower legs and shit that are, I don't know.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, I think I had read that post from like before, like back when MP10 was still the thing to have. Right.
Yeah.
Before Hasbro stepped in and redid it. But yeah, don't forget they have their Defensor, right? It's gonna be coming out.
Yeah. So you're going over the list right now. Are you going strictly XTB, or are we just including KFC?
You might as well include KFC because they did the sweeps, right? So why would X-Transbots do new sweeps?
No, X-Transbots did the sweeps.
Oh, did they? Oh,
yeah,
right.
KFC did the Junkions.
Junkions, right? Yeah. So why would they redo that? But what was the other ones they were doing? Not Throttlebots. What were those cars, Mike?
You talking KFC or you talking? The Omnibots.
Omnibots. That's it. Yeah. X-Transbots do the Omnibots.
Yep. KFC teased the Darkwing and Dreadwind actual prototypes a while ago. Like maybe had to be a year and a half, 2 years ago. I feel like it was at the fucking TFCon that we went to. They teased those already. And what the hell else did they tease? Oh, they finally started showing more that they're doing a Power Master Optimus Prime. KFC is that Raijin or whatever it's called. But you're buying like the small robot and the trailer and the God Bomber, like all 3 parts separately and shit.
Okay.
That one was really far behind too, but that was another KFC one.
I wonder.
Yeah, they got a lot of shit going on, man.
I wonder if we're going to see any more KFC releases, or if they're going to be focusing mostly on extra, like, more on that company's side than the other.
Yeah, goes in. I guess. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's hard to say. Like KFC did kind of just tail off. I mean, they still have shit in the pipeline. Like stuff that stuff that we have pre-ordered or whatever, but you really haven't seen any kind of like, I don't know. XTB always seems to be doing something,
right?
Throwing like progress shit out there, and you don't really see KFC. Did I say XTB or KFC? I meant XTB.
Yeah.
I meant XTB. They throw a lot of like works in progress and shit like that out there. KFC, you don't really see any of that shit, not much.
Right. I also wonder, there was that rumor about the Quintesson 3-pack with no electronics.
Yeah.
So you might be seeing that. But yeah, there's a bunch of stuff I think that X-Transbots might be throwing out there in the next year or even this year.
Yeah. So, but yeah, the original thing we were talking about was whether or not we thought it was going to be a little bit of a price hike. So I guess we'll see on that.
Yeah.
Be interesting as these pre-orders start coming out. The next one, do you guys need a picture? The MP skids?
No, I
want me to throw that in the levy?
Nah, I've seen it.
All right. So MP skids. So they showed MP skids and they showed a Diaclone, a red Diaclone, kind of like an Optimus Prime looking head on him a little bit, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But it's kind of like a little bit of a different MO. Well, in two respects. Number one, he's definitely toy inspired. I think even more now that I'm seeing him in color. You'd agree, right?
Yeah.
You think toy inspired, or you think they just flat out said, fuck it, we're making them more realistic like we were for the first 20 MPs?
I think it's more toy inspired.
Yeah.
Because it's
so because it's fucking skids. Yeah, right.
Kids.
Yeah, right.
It's fucking skids,
Yeah, he was a little bit had more of a presence in the comic book.
Was he in just like one episode, right? Or two?
He was in 2 episodes. And I only remember one of them. I remember the triple takeover where Blitzwing had the thing in the football stadium and shit like that. Skids was one. Remember when the end where like 4 or 5 Autobots kind of like got into, they like formed the throne and they told Prime to take a seat. I'm pretty sure Skids was part of the throne and shit, man.
Was his face the seat?
His face. Skids. Yes, Skids. Oh, man. They look good, though, man. All joking aside about nobody giving a fuck about Skids, what do you like? The toy looks good, I think. Or do you find it too busy now that we've been looking at all these hyper cartoon accurate figures for so long? Now you see something like this. Is that why it looks weird?
Well, one, it's Skids.
It looks weird because it's Skids.
Yeah, it's not like it's fucking Sunstreak or anything like that. So
I find it weird. I find it strange that we're getting a Skids before we're getting a Jazz.
Right. Yeah, right.
And the second thing is that it's Skids,
Yeah. I got 2 reasons why I no longer want to talk about this because skids.
Well, like you said, like he was the toy design was more in the comics, right? They like leaned that way, right?
Yeah.
So I'm assuming the
comics are always
aesthetics.
a little more.
Plus, I think that I like the X-Transbots look more.
Yeah, he does look good, man. And he was fun. That one was fun to transform too. It wasn't like completely overly complicated to the point where you didn't even want to fucking bother. But I'm definitely in on that red one. I'll tell you that much. I'm digging that one.
Someone mentioned that maybe it's a 2-pack, but I doubt it.
I doubt that. I doubt that. Yeah. So there was that and that. Oh, damn it. What the hell did I do?
What about the rumor that went along with the skids?
Yeah.
Picture?
So I'm assuming it was in the Chinese writing somewhere where they talked about. Did you see any translation for that shit?
I did. I saw a Google Lens translation for it.
You did. All right. Well, can you fill me in because all I saw was what everybody else was seeing, and I never saw a translation. So I'm assuming somewhere in there was
you could
the
actually take Chinese writing or Japanese writing and put into Google, and it'll actually translate the picture for you.
Really? Get the fuck out of here.
It's not really super accurate, but you get an idea what they were talking about.
Better than nothing.
But they said that the Jetfires were going to be coming soon, but don't say anything about it just yet. So I guess the rumor then after that was we'll be getting an MP Jetfire.
Interesting.
Now, that maybe is being mistranslated as like jets in like that could mean the Seekers. So you could weigh that however you want, with a grain of salt. So that could either be meaning that's an MP Jetfire, or that could be just that they're talking about the Seekers coming at the jets.
Or some aerial bots. Or some
MP
aerial
Jetfire.
An MP Jetfire? Man, MP Jetfire would have to be really fucking good, man, to dethrone Phoenix. Phoenix is pretty fucking awesome.
Really expensive too.
Oh my god,
that thing will be at least $550, probably.
There's no reason for that.
No reason for what, Levy?
For it to be that expensive. There's no reason for it to be that expensive.
Do you think it would be that much, Jim?
MP44?
Yes. If MP44 was almost $500, imagine something that's like, twice or 3 times the size of that thing.
Yeah.
It'll be at least $500. At least.
Man, that's fucking expensive. Yeah, you're right. You know what? The MP44, man, that one broke open the floodgates.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, nobody. Well, I mean, if you got it from Amazon Japan, you got it for a little cheaper. I would have never paid $440 for that. No fucking way.
I honestly don't see myself ever buying another Hasbro MP figure again.
Jetfires is one of those characters that, or we should say Skyfire, right? Because Jetfire was, the one that was sued. But yeah, I mean, if you have a Skyfire, he's like one of those characters, especially since he was pretty relevant in the Netflix animation that came out. He's like one of those popular characters that probably will sell because he has that Robotech look.
Yeah.
But that's why it makes me feel they were talking about, the Seekers and, not Jetfire in that whole Chinese, note. But I guess we'll find out eventually. But I was like kind of leaning toward this, like I had that idea yesterday or whatever, or today. Was it today? Yes. Anyway, that if you notice, like Zeta always puts things out lately, like in tandem or before Hasbro, because they were also part of that rumor was that they were still going to be releasing Raiden as an official MP, and Zeta always seems to be pushing things out like ahead of them because they did the pre-orders for the Raiden parts. And then there's Unicron before that. Would you, like putting your conspiracy hat on, would you think we might see a Zeta Jetfire?
Nah.
No.
Nah, I don't think so. They're putting shit out so fucking slow, and they already have Well, I mean, are we considering Moon Studios? You think that they sold that design, or you think this is them under a different name, like they did with that's them,
that's
right?
them. Yeah,
So they got that whole thing to do, which is going to take all year, and then they're going to have the Predacons that they already, and then they have like their other line that's doing basically like movie bots and shit.
Right. Yeah, that was the other thing I was going to bring up too, is that they've been kind of doing movie bot stuff like in front of Hasbro's releases too. So I don't know. It just makes me feel like they get some information, like inside source somehow, and they're like, let's go and push this out before the official comes out.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'll take my tinfoil hat off now.
Yeah, right. Yep. Yeah, man. That's all I got for robot related news.
I have a little bit of toy news. Let's see here.
You gonna talk about the chopstick love handle Superman?
Amazing Yamaguchi announced their comic Iron Spider. I don't know if you've seen this yet, Mike.
Oh, look at that. That's pretty dope.
Yeah, it looks really good. Then they also announced like an exclusive version that's black instead of red. And that looks really good too. And it's exclusive to their website. Unfortunately, their website's only in Japanese, so I couldn't figure out how to order this thing.
That thing is fucking cool, man.
Actually, no, I did figure out because I went on my desktop computer and had Google translate the entire website for me. And apparently they don't take orders from outside of Japan. So
damn, you're gonna need somebody in the inside, Levy.
I don't think I'll ever get that black one.
It'll show up other places.
I hope so.
But you'll probably have to pay a little bit.
I have seen it at other stores, but they want like $30-40 more dollars for it, and I don't want to pay that.
Yeah.
Well, so I mean, I'm happy with the red one, but that black one looks really nice. And this black costume is actually a canonical suit.
Isn't that the Doc Ock Iron Spider?
No, it's actually Miles Morales' uncle wore this suit.
Oh,
his uncle Aaron, who's the Prowler.
The Prowler, yeah.
Yeah, he actually wore this suit. So
I know Doc Ock did the 4 arms, not the 3.
The Superior Spider-Man.
Right.
Yeah.
Superior arm or Spider or whatever the hell they called it back then. Right.
So.
Well, I mean, you think about it, right? $30 more, then it's kind of covering shipping from Japan, right? So you're not paying too much more then. Maybe $10. Yeah. It's not that big of a difference.
Well, I don't know how much their shipping cost would be. So.
Well, I guess it depends what site you're getting it from. If someplace like BBTS, then, that's
no, it wasn't BBTS. It was like I think a place called Genki Hobby or something like that, which is also a site from Japan. So
Jizzled.com.
I was just gonna say you get jizzled on Yankee. Wait, what was it again?
Genki Hobby.
Genki.
Genki. It's a Japanese word.
Genki. You got jizzled on Genki.
Free shipping on that site.
So what's nice about this figure though is you can do the 3-armed look like that's accurate to the comic, but then you can also give him 4 arms. So
yeah, it's a pretty cool figure.
Yeah, I'm very excited for it.
Is it the standard 112 scale?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. What's it going for?
Well, normal price, I don't remember exactly how much, but it's standard price for an Amazing Yamaguchi. Usually from Ami before shipping, it's like $70-80 maybe. Usually on the lower end of that price.
Okay.
So, and then Mezco 112 Collective announced a Zack Snyder's Justice League box set with the black suit Superman, Batman, and Flash. So I'm going to put the BBTS link in here. You can look at the pictures there. And it's funny because one of the Superman head sculpts has heat vision effects coming from the eyes. And someone in one of the groups I'm in made a comment saying that it looked like someone stabbed Superman in the eyes with chopsticks, and I can't unsee that now. So, yeah.
Tell him what Nate said.
What did Nate say?
Nate said he looks like he has love handles.
Oh yeah, that too. I could totally see it. Here, I'll post that picture here. Come on, why did that not save? There we go. There we go. Yeah, there you go. He looks like he got stabbed in the eyes with chopsticks. That's fucked up. And yeah, he definitely looks like he's got love handles.
Yeah, man.
I ordered it though, because
Superman.
Actually, more for the Flash, but Superman in the black suit's okay, I guess. I still prefer the traditional red and blue, but
Yeah, so do I, man.
There was did you see the deep fake? How they deep fake Christopher Reeves in Superman Returns?
no,
It was pretty good actually.
yeah. So that's it for toy news for me. You got anything, Jed?
The only thing I had was that there was an official email from Square Enix about the PlayArts Kai stuff coming out for Final Fantasy. How they were pushing everything back to May and each month after that. Before it was just kind of rumored that they were going to be releasing like Tifa because of the whole face, head sculpt mess up type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But that's an official now that they're actually pushing it back. And they're also selling a Final Fantasy watch for like some insane $300-$400 price, which is crazy. Oh, and they're selling like plushies too for like, what was it? $60-$80 or something like that. It's something crazy. That's all the toy news I had. What was the there was something else that just came. Oh, the Bloodborne thing I saw. That was Figma. But that's it. I didn't really see too much of any. Oh, I know what it was. NECA announced that there was a Gargoyles line coming out.
Yeah,
yeah, that's right. I forgot all about that. The NECA Gargoyles.
We're in on those, by the way.
Are you?
Yeah.
I've never watched that show. I never watched it.
You never watched Gargoyles?
No.
Okay,
So
you should watch. You should watch Gargoyles. It's actually very well done. At least the first 2 seasons. Skip the 3rd season, but the first 2 seasons on Disney Plus, watch it. It is far more mature than the Disney Afternoon label implies.
I know about it. I know the voice actors and stuff that are like, like from Star Trek and stuff. But yeah, I never watched it.
It takes a lot of inspiration from Shakespeare. In fact, it takes characters from Shakespeare and makes them characters in the show. Just totally watch it. It's fan-fucking-tastic. So, I mean, in my opinion, it's on par with like Batman the Animated Series in terms of quality, in terms of like animation quality, story, everything. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I'll have to get around to watching it.
Yeah. I wish the Goliath, the NECA Goliath figure, instead of just the outspread wings, that you would have gotten like different wing options, because like have the outspread wings, maybe have the wings folded up, right? And then have the other option where they wear their wings like a cloak, because in the show, the gargoyles with like the big bat type wings, they could wrap them around their shoulders and make it look like they're wearing a cloak, and it actually looks really neat. So I would have liked, but of course that probably would have driven the price up to like $40-$45 or whatever if you had to include 3 sets of wings.
Right? Yeah.
So
it's a good looking figure for what it is.
Mm-hmm.
What's next? Our host?
Listeners' questions? Listeners' questions. I think that's all that's left, right?
Who's reading those off?
I'll read them since I posted the thing. Yeah.
You know the thing.
The thing, So, Jared Bell writes, "The machine's homework assignment. Jed pretty much hit the nail on the head. My wife rolls her eyes and goes, 'Oh, geez.' She puts up with my shenanigans and craziness. Lisa is down with my Transformers. Go Birds.
Go Birds.
Go Birds."
I like how he just adopted the machine.
Yeah.
I hope he tells people like in his regular life that he's the machine.
Yeah.
Like the people at the grocery store.
Yeah. Excuse me. It's the machine.
It's the machine.
So, all right. Tyler Gillette asks, has there ever been a franchise or series that you've tried and written off early that you've revisited later and found yourself to enjoy it more than you expected you would have?
Yeah, that's an easy one for me. That was the Invincible just recently, because I thought the comic books were boring, and I don't remember like the cool storylines that were in the cartoons. Yeah, I'm all in on that. I'll probably go back into those books and read them again. Probably paying more attention this time, I guess. That's my answer for that one. That's an easy one for me.
What about you, Mike?
I'm going to go outside the box here a little bit and say 90s grunge. Like Soundgarden and Stone Temple Pilots and Alice in Chains and a lot of those bands I didn't give a rat's ass about, and even some of them I didn't like them when I first heard them, and then like 15 years after the fact I'm like, why wasn't I listening to more of this shit? Yeah. So yeah, 90s grunge. I'll go 90s grunge on that one.
I don't know. I don't know if there's anything that I've written off early and came back to. You know what? I'll say the Fallout games. Like I tried Fallout 3 and I just couldn't get into it at first, and so then I walked away from it. And then I came back, sometime later, and then for some reason I absolutely loved it, because I started over, and I just couldn't get enough of it, and I just kept playing and playing, and I stuck with it and finished it and everything. And then ever since then, I've played every Fallout game that came out except for Fallout 76. I played the beta of that, and then I was like, yeah, this game sucks. But yeah, so I think that qualifies, right? Yeah. So, yeah, because like I said, I started playing Fallout 3. It was fun and everything like that, but I got bored with it quickly, and I just, how like when you're playing a game or something like that, and you just kind of drop off and don't go back to it, and whatnot. So I did that, and like I said, I came back, started over, and I just couldn't get enough of it. And it's just something about it clicked with me that second time, and yeah, I've been a huge Fallout fan ever since. So. All right. Thanks, Tyler. Anthony Neal asks, when, how did each of you meet, and how did the podcast start? So, I mean, we've talked about this a number of times, but Mike and I have known each other going on almost 30 years now. In a few years, back in what was it, 94, right, Mike?
Yeah, right around there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Long story short, we saw each other in two different places, and we're like, I guess we're friends now.
Yeah. Yeah, because we've saw each other at the arcade. Didn't really talk there, but then I ran into you at Comic Masters, and we just struck up a conversation.
You were like, oh, look, it's a fellow virgin
who likes video games and comic books. All right. And apparently I met Jed long before I realized. As we talked about earlier tonight. So, but as far as the podcast starting, Mike just called me up one day and said, "Hey, let's do a podcast." And I was like, "Okay." So, I mean, really, that's how it started. I mean, because we would just talk on the phone for hours, just talking about toys and collecting and shit, and then we, just thought it's like, might as well record it.
Well, that even went behind that even was. A couple of the TCP guys were talking about it, like Jason and Paul and Barry. They just kind of like flirted with the idea for half a minute. And I was like, yeah, I'm in, and then they decided not to do it. And then I was like, fuck, I was kind of into wanting to do that.
This is the first time I'm hearing that.
Yeah. That was I don't even know if Jay or any of the guys would even remember it at this point, but it was a very fleeting conversation, and I was like, "Oh, that's a cool idea. I'm in. Let's do it." And then nobody wanted.
Secrets out now, Levy.
Yeah. So like, I'm just gonna get Levy, man. Levy, you'll be in. I know.
Well, I'm glad I'm your second.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Jed came on like a few episodes after we started, and we dumped all the work on him, and
It's funny how that happened.
Yeah.
Some Jedi mind trick shit going on there, man.
I was like your only listener, and you're like, "Hey,
come on.
Yeah.
I was partly against bringing you on, Jed, for exactly that reason. I'm like, yeah, we're gonna cut our audience in half with this move.
It's either Jed or my mom. Mike is thinking.
But she didn't have any gear, so he went out.
And no editing skills.
Yeah, no gear, no editing skills.
You know, we haven't called your mom in a while.
No, I was actually thinking about that the other day.
Yeah.
Might have to bring that one back for it if I could think of a good topic or two to get her wound up.
To revisit that. I still want to try and call my mom one of these nights.
So do I.
Just to get her on the phone, but she wouldn't know the first thing to say. I might just call her and not tell her she's on being recorded.
I think we should.
Which I think may be illegal in the state of Pennsylvania, but
Bring her on, Levy. Bring her on, and let's ask her about some of the things that we always fucking laugh about with your mom.
About
like
Kane having no penis.
About what?
Kane, remember she came over when we had wrestling on? And she's like, look at him. He has no penis.
Well, that wasn't the first place my brain went, but that's pretty funny as well. But I was thinking about, like, you know, some of the shit with you, like where she fucking was swinging the fucking clock radio.
She doesn't even remember that.
Does she remember? Will she remember the barrels on the porch and all that shit?
Oh yeah, she remembers that shit.
It's fucking. We should bring her on one week and do that, and then bring your pops on. We should have a show one time where it's your pops and bring Richie on. And and just all of us can fucking go over the fucking toilet in the front yard.
I don't think my dad would go for that. My dad, not because it's Richie, but it's my dad. I don't think my dad would want to jump on the podcast.
No.
Nah.
Damn.
We should be calling Jefferson at the beginning of every show, though.
Yeah, we should be. I completely agree. Yeah, because I was going to say you're not going to catch him. He's been in bed like 3 hours already. No, actually, the routine. He'll go to bed, but he don't go to sleep. He's got to stay up and watch like fucking Dick Van Dyke and like a bunch of other old man shows.
He was born in the wrong century, man.
He totally was, man. He totally was. Everybody that meets him thinks he's fucking 15 years older.
Or the wrong decade.
I wonder if he liked WandaVision.
He would have liked it until the action started. Like, he would have been the exact opposite of everybody else. He would have loved the first like 2-3 episodes.
He'd be like, "Oh, this is in black and white. I love it."
Yeah. Yeah.
What's this shit with lasers and stuff? Fuck this.
Get it out of here. You're ruining the show.
What other questions we got?
Let's see here. I have to bring up the shares.
I'm curious if the post got removed from the Beast Wars Society.
No, still there.
No,
Why?
still there. Okay, because they had a thing now that if you post something that isn't Beast Wars related, it would be removed.
We're the #1 Beast Wars podcast.
Yeah,
you are the #1 Beast Wars podcast.
That joke held water when like the two people who had joke with were still on the show.
Yeah, but they still run that group.
Yeah, that's true.
I like it even better now because now it's just like they're not on the show. Like, it's funny. Like, it has some kind of comedic fucking shit to it. Like, where the new guys that really kind of just don't know us. Like, listen, what the fuck are these motherfuckers talking? #1 Beast Wars podcast and shit, man. You know, I don't know. There's some kind of comedic value there, I think.
All right. So last question comes from our good friend of the podcast, Nathaniel Armstrong, master sorcerer.
Yep.
Strangely accented British, otherworldly denizen. Named the Shadows. D&D jokes.
Nate, before you read that off, by the way, Levy, Nate, every fucking time I talk to Nate, he tries to talk me into. At some point in the conversation, tries to talk me into fucking making a character up and playing with you. And I tell him the same thing every time, but he's persistent. I'll tell you that much. Every time, and I'm not making an exaggeration. Every time I talk to him,
Let me tell you about Nate and D&D. He has really taken to it.
I can tell.
He is passionate about D&D. You should hear the ideas he comes up with when we're playing. Just like strange, outlandish plans that are just like way out there. But yeah, no, he loves it. He is absolutely enthralled with it.
You know what a strange, outlandish plan is, Levy? Getting together and playing D&D.
Mike, you have to make a bard, man, and we are. I would totally make that your token.
Perfectly. We have the profile pic done and everything.
Yeah, I would make this picture right here your player token.
You have my fucking the whole thing's planned out. You're just waiting for the go ahead.
Yep. Look at that picture. That picture's
I love that picture.
I'll give you the picture. It's a funny picture,
and you
bro.
have to be a bard.
Huh? I don't listen. Levy, I don't have to do nothing. Levy, there's two things I'm never gonna do: give you the fucking Devastator upgrade kit, or play Dungeons and Dragons.
But anyway, back to Nate's question.
Levy, if for some reason I die before you do, I'm gonna ask to be buried with my Devastator upgrade kit.
I will pick you up and take it.
Both of them, Jed. Give me both of them. Give me the one on Devastator and give me the long haul one, and put them both in there. Oh my god, dude! It would be like national treasure.
Then you have to make sure that your grave is buried with like one of those steel cages around it, so you can get into it.
Yeah, it's got to be Filipino proof. When you put me in a put me down 12 feet so he really can't find me. Be this whole mystery. Imagine that shit. It'll dig down the regular 6 or 7 feet. The fucking coffin won't be there, and then it'll turn into this whole crazy ass adventure. And then they're gonna find out that I was just a little fucking lower, right where he was at in the first place.
He's gonna get buried with a riddle. Explain where he can find the next piece of Devastator.
Yeah. Meanwhile, there's one on eBay for like $60, and Levy's like, "Fuck that! I'm not paying that."
I'm traveling to Morocco to find that missing piece.
Why don't?
Oh my god!
Does it have to be green? I mean, could it be silver, like the perfect version?
What?
Doesn't the perfect version have
that version?
Isn't it silver on the perfect version?
I don't know. I don't know.
Not the hip filler, or not the waist fillers.
You know what? Silver might actually look cool.
No,
silver might look cool.
No, it wouldn't. Silver would look fucking stupid. Like really fucking stupid. Anyway, back to Nate's.
You should put the yellow ones on there. Put the G2 ones on there.
Yeah.
Or the orange ones. You have so many different choices.
You know what, Lenny? That's not a bad idea, dude. You should fucking get... No, listen.
Here.
Get a yellow one and then fucking send them down to Jason and have Jason fucking spray those bitches up.
Aren't those silver?
The thighs are not. I don't care about the thighs. I want the waist fillers.
Oh yeah, he got the thighs, man. He got the thigh parts already.
No, I actually wait. Yeah. I got the thighs. Thighs were actually the default thighs were silver. It was the upgrade kit that was green, actually.
Yeah.
Well, this is the perfect version. So this has those in there.
The waist fillers?
Yeah, it doesn't.
Yeah, why do I want to buy a whole new Devastator for waist fillers?
No, I'm just saying, like, I could buy a Devastator and then give you those parts.
You're not gonna.
I could.
You could. I could. Monkeys might fly out of my ass.
I'm just saying, I mean, like, you know, or you could buy it and just sell me. Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, what would that came with? Which character did that come with?
It didn't.
The waist fillers, there was an upgrade kit.
That was an upgrade.
I mean, which character was the upgrade kit for? It was the
long haul.
Right.
Mm-hmm. It went on him like a weird backpack that really didn't. It doesn't. It just. I don't know. The thing that it was cool. The feet things is where you need it because you didn't.
Yeah, he was his heels are non-existent.
Yeah.
Right. So it was the heels and the waist fillers.
Yeah.
Right. Maybe I'll do that, Levy. Maybe I'll buy one for $500. Give you the piece.
Yeah, but he would look ridiculous without that. Not ridiculous, but he would just
He look like mine.
he look like Levy's.
So
Anyway.
well, if you do that, Jed, let me know.
Do you? I wonder, well, what does it look like without it?
Like it doesn't have waist fillers. Those
He just looks
triangular shaped pieces on the sides there, on the side of long haul, those will be gone.
Pieces.
He just looks really skinny.
Let's see here. Total constructor. See if we can find one without the waist pieces.
Christ. I found one. It's the yellow one, but you'll get the idea.
Yeah. And what part's missing? Oh, the side, the
like his ribs. Like
it's not really waist filler. It's more like it's like a section.
Yeah, people call them waist fillers. So, yeah. Anyway,
it's not the part that I thought it was, but okay.
Back to Nate's question. He says, this picture of a bear covered in cocaine makes me realize that it is my firm belief that none of you have ever skied the slopes, railed a line, gotten your booger sugar. So it begs the question, what custom and practice did you hold in the first 30 years of your life that not many know about and that you wouldn't dream of repeating now? Levy, this could include your pole dancing tour. Jed, haircuts. I don't know. I was a pretty straight-laced kid growing up. So
well,
I didn't.
Is he talking is he talking bad like illegal habits, or is he just talking anything that you did that you wish you were fucking done?
I masturbated a lot, but I still do that.
Right.
So a lot. More than most. More than most people should, really. So I mean,
I can't believe you won't tell anybody to shit your pants.
You could say I do it chronically. Yeah, so there's that.
You won't tell nobody he shit his pants though, but he'll tell people that.
Yeah, I'm proud of how much I jerk off. I wear that as a badge of honor.
He put a post up like 3 hours ago saying about how much he loved his girlfriend.
Yeah.
All we hear about is Jizzle.
He's jizzling. He's up here jizzling.
No, actually, April spent the last 2 days pulling all my toys out of storage.
Yeah.
And pulling my
Uh-oh.
Oh my God.
Laughing fucks me up right now, man.
No, she spent the last 2 days bringing my detolfs all out of the storage room, and she has them all lined up in the basement.
Wait, she did?
Yeah, she did all of this.
What the fuck were you? What were you doing?
I didn't know she was doing this.
Oh,
she did this while I was at work.
Oh, okay. You just got done telling us you were chronic masturbating. I figure you're in there, up there. You're up there fucking yanking him out, and she's down there putting your fucking detolfs up, man.
There's a good chance that was happening. I mean, I don't know, but no. She said she actually took 2 half days to do this without telling me.
Wow,
and
that's solid. Yeah. That's a solid move. That's a good girl.
And so this will make Nate happy. Looks like I'll be actually getting my display space all set up this weekend.
Nice.
Yeah.
So he's been bugging me about that shit forever. Maybe this will shut him up.
That'll teach him.
So yeah. So I mean, yeah. She actually she didn't even tell me about it. She just I came down and I saw this and I'm like, what the hell have you been doing? So she explained to me what she did, and so I was very, very moved.
Yeah,
So,
that's
so kudos to April.
It's like he went down there, he saw the space was all, it was coming together and shit, and he got turned on and went up and yank went out.
So how about you, Jed? Do you have a habit or practice or custom that you've done in your first 30 years of life?
that wouldn't do now.
Yeah.
Probably Jed's drunken stunt driving.
Oh, yeah.
Probably that won't be doing that anymore.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, that's where I used to have the logger ferry drive me home.
The logger ferry.
I would leave the bar, wind up at home somehow, and the logger ferry would drive me home because that's the only way I could figure out how the hell I got home. So,
logger! I kept thinking you were saying logger, like somebody who cuts down trees, and I'm like,
Yingling.
That
Logger.
doesn't make any sense.
A logger ferry. Yeah, that's great.
What does a logger have to do with anything? Then I'm like, oh, logger.
Yeah, the Ying logger ferry. Yeah, they drive me home.
That reminds me of that. You ever listen to David Tell, Jed?
Oh yeah.
He's like, he goes blacking out, or as I like to call it, time traveling. He's like, you're drunk at the bar, you fall asleep, you wake up, or you pass out, you wake up, you're drunk at another bar, you pass out, you wake up, you're working at the McDonald's. You've been there 3 years. You want to quit because they won't give you manager, but you're banging the girl on the fryer later. They say she's retarded, but those titties aren't retarded.
Jesus.
I remember that skit.
Oh, so fun. That whole fucking that whole act is funny, man. That whole act is funny.
My favorite story is always where I drank myself to where I blacked out and I woke up and I thought I drank myself blind because all I could see was white. I blinked my eyes and rubbed my eyes. All is just white. And here I was just sleeping right up against the wall. I was like the kingpin. I was like staring at the painting in the snowstorm. The white
snowstorm.
Yeah, rabbit in the snowstorm. But yeah, I won't be doing any of that stuff anymore.
Well, that's good.
That was a bad habit.
Your liver thanks you.
Yeah, and I'm glad I didn't kill anybody. That's also a positive thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's really pretty much that's the only bad habit that I did.
What about you, Mike?
So yeah, we did a lot of dumb shit when we were drunk too, but we didn't really drink heavy for that long.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I would say, if I really had to it would probably be like 3/4 of everything I wore in the first 25 years of my life and 7/8 of my haircuts. Like I'd probably put that shit at the top of the list, and then the drunk shit like second.
Still sticking with the makeup though, huh?
Yeah, I'm still that I'm all right with. That I'm all right with because there's some people are into that. Usually the right people. Yeah, no, that's all right. Leave that one. It's all right. That one can stay.
We'll leave that box checked.
Leave that box checked. Yo, Levy one time at what was the name of that place, Levy? Was it McGillicuddy's, the place on Elizabeth Avenue? What was it called at the Beer Bellies or something?
Yeah, McGillicuddy's.
Or was it McGillicuddy's? Yeah. Levy drank like fucking 6 Long Island iced teas in a row. Dude.
Oh that was Jelly Beans.
Oh yeah, I remember Jelly Beans.
Are you sure that was Jelly Beans?
Yeah, that was Jelly Beans.
Wait a second, where the fuck was Jelly Beans? Oh, that was on that's Strange Brew now, right? That was on right by the fucking Wendy's and shit. What the fuck is Emmaus Avenue?
Yeah, Emmaus Avenue. Yep.
Yeah. That was at Jelly Beans? I thought that was at McGillicuddy's. Well, regardless of the location, Jed, Fucking Levy sucked down 6 Long Island iced teas in like one after a fucking another, dude. It was one of the most impressive drinking displays I've ever seen. Not that I always hung out with drunks and shit like that, but like I've seen my fair share, you know? Dude, that was impressive. He had his head on the table after 4, like, and he went 2 more after that. He would just like the last 2, he would just pick his head up to get the Long Island iced tea that just arrived, and then he drink it and he put his head right back on the fucking
I don't
table.
know how I didn't get cut off.
No, I didn't know how you didn't get cut off either, man. It was a different time.
I couldn't. Like I got like after 4 or whatever, I got to go take a piss. I came back and I just couldn't keep my head up anymore.
Yeah,
Like I ended up not being able to walk out under my own power. Like Brent and Brian had to actually carry me to my car or to their car.
Wasn't Eric Brennan was with us? Wasn't Eric Brennan with us?
Probably.
And he was telling us all this filthy shit that he did with what's her face, that short chick. Remember the short chick that we worked with?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I can't remember her name.
It started with a T. It was like Tina or some shit, or Tanya or something, wasn't it?
I don't know.
That shit had me fucking rolling, dude. He was a funny dude, man, Eric.
Yeah.
After the pandemic, he's on my list of people I want to hang out with, like get together with after the pandemic, dude.
Yeah.
I miss that dude.
He was the first guy. He was the first person I smoked weed with.
Yeah. I wish I would have been there.
Yeah. That was fun.
I drank I drank 5 or 6 Prairie Fires.
What is that?
Prairie Fire is tequila and Tabasco sauce.
Tequila and Tabasco sauce.
Yeah, take a shot of tequila and put some Tabasco sauce inside of it and do shots of it.
Huh.
It's horrible.
Is it horrible?
It's terrible. Don't ever drink it.
You never know, because it's like, well, there's 2 terrible things, but sometimes you put them together and they're like, oh, this is pretty fucking good.
It's like drinking Tabasco sauce, like straight up, and then chasing it with gasoline. It's horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was bad. That was a bad night. I was walking up the stairs. I felt like somebody punched me right in the face. That's when it just hit me. It was so bad. I was taking my shirt off and I like puked in my shirt while I was taking it off.
Oh my God.
It was bad. And when you puke Tabasco, it doesn't feel very good at all.
No, I can't imagine.
I can imagine that.
Yeah, that was really bad. I have drank so much that I was able not to do math anymore. Remember that?
Like simple math? Like single digits?
Trying to figure out, like I got the receipt and I was trying to figure out the tip and I couldn't do the times 0.18 or whatever.
Right.
The receipt had like 5 like places where I was scratching out the long math and I couldn't do it. I was like, fuck it. I just put
It looked like that. It looked like that meme and shit, you know, where there's a real like perplexed person and there's like trigonometry floating above their head.
Yeah, basically. There's like a shoe drawn and a beach ball and a dollar sign.
Yeah. Levy, where were we coming from? Where I threw up like 3 times on the way home, man. It was like I remember throwing up
when we did the 10 shots, 10 bots.
Well, no, besides that time. But I feel like where were we coming from, dude? Was it might have been jelly beans. Did we go there for our 21st birthday, didn't we? Jelly beans?
We might have.
I remember getting fucking lumped the fuck up, dude. I'm pretty sure. Ah, man, I don't know.
You know, that was, if I remember right, that was the bandana days, right? That's where you wore bandanas over your head all the time.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
Because like my hair was a pain in the ass. Like if I didn't fucking wear like a hat or like tie it down somehow, it was gonna be all over the fucking place. So I went fucking Aunt Jemima style.
So, all right. Well, that was the last question.
Thank you, Nate. Stop asking me if I'm going to play in D&D. It's just not going to happen. Is that
he has to start using like reverse psychology on you. Like, you wouldn't understand it anyway. Or that'd be too hard for you to figure out.
Nah, it's at this point it's over, Johnny. Like there's just no way. There's no way. Even now at this point, like now I feel committed to it, you know, like even if I had extra time and it was like, you know, Tuesdays, hypothetically speaking, I just couldn't do it just because I've been fighting it off for so long. If you're on principle now.
Any last words?
Nah, not really. Just
Any parting words?
It was good hanging out with you guys. It's been a while. Been a whole month.
Yeah.
Pretty much. So
glad
cool.
to hear you're out of the woods.
Yeah, man. Yep.
So.
Yep. I got it. Yep. Pretty easy. Jed, sorry to hear about your pops again, man.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah, that was a real shitty experience. So
Yeah.
definitely. But I don't really have anything at the end except another fuck you for John Bailey.
Double up.
Yeah, he doesn't need to get. It's been kind of quiet about John Bailey news. I haven't heard anything recently, so maybe he's giving up acting. maybe he's gonna be I don't know, a snake farmer or something.
Oh, snake farmer.
Snake King.
How about you, Levy? Do you have anything in closing?
No. Shout out to April because she's awesome and I love her.
Yeah. Shout out to April.
So, but how about you, Mike?
Let's keep going around the circle. Round two.
This is like when you're leaving at the end of the night, you shake the same guy's hand over and over again.
Doctor.
Fucked up, man. I almost answered him too. All right, are we good?
Yeah, Mike.
All right, enough's enough. We're out.